Welcome back, everyone. We're going to continue our chronological coverage of the Darrell Brooks trial in Waukesha, Wisconsin, with all of the downtime and the breaks trimmed out to keep things moving along. While I've shared plenty of clips and covered this case extensively on the channel from on a lot of background things, this is really the first time we've ever presented the trial straight through in this format. So if you missed videos 1 through 3, feel free to go back and watch them. I have a playlist organized so that you guys can easily find everything and you can follow along from the beginning. And if you find that this coverage is helpful, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Now, going into video 4, we're going to jump back into day 1 after the lunch break, where the court finally gets into the opening statements. This is after several disputes and delays from Brooks earlier in the day. So, let's get to it.
And if that's okay, if it happens, we may lose video of Mr. Brooks for the time being, as the state is using what appears to be a PowerPoint. Just confirm with me, Deputy Wittig, that when it starts that it is able to be viewed and heard over there.
It was a cold and windy Sunday afternoon in November. Thousands of people were bundling up and going downtown to watch the annual Waukesha Christmas Parade. The event started off normal. There were dance teams, high school marching bands, local community groups, local businesses, all making their way down the parade route. The streets were lined with friends and family members and neighbors, people there to soak up the atmosphere. Kids ran into the street to grab candy from the people who were throwing it from the parades. It sounds corny, but I think you'll see from the videos there was a true sense of joy in the air. Darrell Brooks killed that joy. He replaced it with terror, trauma, and death. The evidence is going to show that Mr. Brooks left behind a trail of carnage and chaos as he made his way down Main Street through the parade route. The evidence will show that he left that crime scene, created that crime scene, in fact, because he was fleeing from another one where he had laid his hands on a woman and where police involvement became inevitable. So as he careened down Main Street, swerving from curb to curb, hands glued to the steering wheel, eyes fixed on the road in front of him with a silent rage on his face, he hit the gas with his red Ford Escape and used it as a battering ram over and over again, striking men, women, and kids. In the end, Mr. Brooks killed 6 people. He injured dozens more and left a permanent scar on this community. We are going to present evidence to you over the next several days in chronological phases, in order of events, from start to end. I'm going to take a few minutes. I'm going to lay out for you the table of contents to this story. We're going to set the scene with Sergeant Dave Warner from the City of Waukesha Police Department. Sergeant Warner was the highest-ranking police official working at the parade that day. He was the incident commander for the Waukesha Christmas Parade, and we are going to, with Sergeant Warner's help, take you through this, which is the first of 3 maps that we will refer to repeatedly throughout this trial. This map depicts the area that we're going to be talking about over the next couple of days, the parade route. Now, for those of you not entirely familiar with downtown Waukesha, this is going to look like a bunch of gibberish, but once we get going and we repeatedly refer to these street names and the business names and the groups that were involved in this parade, I think it'll become like a second language to you. Sergeant Warner will describe for you how the parade route ran from, if you look closely at the screens in front of you, the intersection of Main Street and White Rock Avenue. White Rock was a staging area for the parade groups and floats. And they made their way southeast on White Rock until they came to Main Street, and then they would make a right turn and head southeast down Main Street through the parade route until the very end, as it wraps around to the south and runs into Wisconsin Avenue. The parade route then would continue to the east, making a left-hand turn on Wisconsin, but nothing really happens on Wisconsin Avenue. You're not going to hear any testimony about that. As you can see from this map, it depicts or represents each intersection where a squad car or a police officer was stationed. They're denoted by the little badge shields in the intersections. If you look closely, you can see little red lines, and Sergeant Warner will describe how those represent the barricades that were placed at each intersection for security and safety purposes. Once we've got that established, we're going to move into the first chapter of this story, and you're going to hear about the origin of Mr. Brooks' rage that day. A violent domestic argument with Erica Patterson, his former girlfriend and the mother of his child. Erica Patterson is going to testify either today or tomorrow, hopefully today. She's going to tell you that in November of 2021, she was staying at the Women's Center, which is a shelter here in Waukesha. And on the day in question, November 21st of 2021, the defendant showed up in Waukesha in his red Ford Escape that she knew he drove, and he argued with her, and he harassed her, and he punched her in the face. And the thing about a swollen eye is it's tough to fake. You're going to hear evidence about how after, let me back up. You're going to hear evidence about how the defendant took Erica Patterson all over town that afternoon. From Frame Park, across the river, up Barstow Hill, back down to Frame Park. And at some point, after she was struck, after she sustained that injury, Erica called her friends because she needed help. And she had no one else to call. One of those friends is Corey Runkle. You're going to hear from Corey on the witness stand in this trial. Corey's going to say that she was Erica's roommate at the Women's Center. She had known Erica for a few weeks and they had grown close. And when she got the call from Erica that Erica needed help, Corey immediately responded to help. And she ended up finding Erica and Darrell Brooks in front of the White Rock School. If we go back, the White Rock School is on White Rock Avenue. It's on near the top right portion of the map. It's just south of Frame Park. And Corey is going to talk about how she found Erica and the defendant at this location, and she got into both a physical and a verbal altercation with Mr. Brooks. That altercation is captured on surveillance video, 2 surveillance videos actually. You're going to see both of them. You're going to see how the defendant was reacting that day. You're going to see what he looked like, what he was wearing, the red Ford Escape that he was driving. You're going to see how the defendant reacted once Erica's friends showed up and he lost his physical advantage over a woman. Erica and Corey will also testify that at some point during this scuffle, the police were called. And you're going to see a separate video, a squad video, from the responding officer that shows just down the block there was a marked squad car with its lights flashing, marking the entrance to the parade. Something that people in front of White Rock School would have seen. So the evidence is going to show that the defendant must have known. Once things got loud, and once there was more than just him and Erica on scene, the police were going to show up. So he took the coward's way out. You're going to see him in the video get into the driver's seat of that red SUV. Corey and Erica will tell you that no one else was in the car. And you're going to see him pull off on White Rock towards Main Street. You're going to hear from law enforcement officers who were positioned along the parade route. The officers who made their initial contact with the defendant, the first ones who tried to stop him. And the first one is Detective Tom Casey, the lead detective in this case. He's sitting at the state's prosecution table right behind me. He's going to tell you that he was working that day as security for the parade. He was working at Main and White Rock. He's the first law enforcement officer to come into contact with the defendant during this incident, face to face. Or I think better describe it as face to windshield. He tried to stop the defendant, but there's only so much a man can do against an SUV. But he's going to tell you that he got so close, he got such a good look at Darrell Brooks's face, that from that witness stand, he'll be able to say to you definitively, Darrell Brooks, the man in orange on the video screen, is the man who was driving the red SUV in this case. You're going to hear from a few more officers. Officer Bryce Butcher and Officer Sonia Schneider. They were positioned at the intersection of Main Street and East Avenue, just a little bit further southwest in that map. You're going to hear them describe how they saw this red SUV approaching. They quickly realized it was not part of the parade. They quickly realized this was a problem. There are people, children, in the street, lining the street. And so they jumped into action. They tried to stop it. As the SUV started barreling towards them, Officer Butcher, again, tried to get in the way. He put himself at risk trying to get in front of the vehicle. Couldn't stop it. Officer Schneider tried to redirect the vehicle up Buckley Street, making a right-hand turn. She'll tell you, and you'll see in the video, there was room. There was space. She couldn't do it. The defendant blew past her. And that's when the screams in the police radio start. You're going to hear from Jim Hawkinson, a battalion chief for the Waukesha Fire Department. He's going to tell you about the massive scope of the emergency response to this tragedy. He was in charge of the fire department that day. He's going to tell you about all of the units that had to respond to the scene, the massive amount of resources needed to triage and treat and transport all the victims. He's going to tell you about the response from other communities in southeast Wisconsin, the mutual aid call that went out, and all the other communities that came to help out. He's going to tell you about how Waukesha Memorial Hospital, just up the hill from the parade route, quickly reached capacity, and so everybody had to be diverted to other medical facilities. We'll transition then into the next chapter of this story, and you're going to hear from some of the people whose lives were forever changed by the defendant's terrible decisions that day. But I'll tell you right now, you're not going to hear from all of them. It wouldn't make sense. It's not necessary. We intend to present the evidence to you in an efficient and streamlined way. We will elicit testimony and introduce exhibits that cover every element of every single criminal charge in this case. But our goal is to avoid duplication of evidence and to avoid undue hardship on the victims and the witnesses who have already suffered so much. So the first witness in this part of the trial that you're going to hear from is Nicole White. She's the very first person, aside from Detective Casey, who was struck by the defendant on that day. She's going to tell you, as we look at this second of the three maps that we're going to repeatedly refer to, that she was marching with her co-workers and friends with Remax. You'll recognize the float, I think, in the videos, because just like the commercials for Remax, there's a giant hot air balloon that shoots fire out of the basket, which is pretty cool. And she's going to tell you she was marching with her friends and her co-workers when, without any warning, she was hit from behind and knocked over. You're going to see video of that. Nicole White has a special significance in this case because, as the first person who was struck, she represents the point in time when Mr. Brooks was legally required to stop. You heard the judge read the hit and run jury instructions, and to summarize, in Wisconsin, anybody who's operating a motor vehicle who's involved in some kind of accident, they have a duty to stop, to investigate, to exchange information. Not only did Darrell Brooks not stop, the evidence will show that he sped up. The evidence will show that as his body count increased, so did his motive to get away. Nicole White, I think, is a good point here for me to explain to you, or to summarize for you, the charge of first-degree recklessly endangering safety. Now, again, the judge read the law to you all morning and a lot of the afternoon, and she's going to read it to you again at the end of the case, and you're going to have a binder with all these instructions written down for you, so you do not need to memorize them, okay? but we're going to talk about first-degree recklessly endangering safety. It's a crime where it's committed by someone who recklessly endangers the safety of another human being under circumstances that show utter disregard for human life. Let's talk about what the state's not required to prove with recklessly endangering safety. Not required to prove injury. This was a conscious decision in our charging decision. We're not going to get into medical records. We're not going to talk about the details of witnesses' injuries because it's not relevant, except to the extent that it proves that they were endangered and resulted in injury. But we don't need to get into who was hit or how hard or how long they've suffered. We just are going to prove to you that their safety was endangered. So, after Nicole White, we are going to talk, you're going to hear evidence about the first of the larger groups that was affected by this incident, the Waukesha South High School Marching Band. 10 kids in that band got either hit or run over. Here's the first example of our efficient presentation of evidence. You're not going to hear from any one of them. High school-aged kids, there's video showing each and every one of them getting run over. So instead, you're going to hear from their band director, Sarah Waymire Aparicio. She's going to come in and she's going to look at some still shots of the video. She's going to identify each of the 10 kids for you. You're then going to watch and listen to the video, and it'll be clear as day who's getting run over or hit. It'll be clear as day whose safety was endangered by Mr. Brooks that day. As we move further down the parade route, you'll hear evidence about the Burris Logistics Group. You'll hear testimony from Kelly Grabo about how she was marching with that group along with her young daughter. You'll see video of them. They're dressed up like the Who's from Whoville. You'll see them get hit. As we move further down the parade route, you'll hear testimony about the Green family. They're spectators along the parade route. Charles Green is going to come in and talk about how he was there with his family. He was sitting on the southeast corner of Main and Gasper across the street from Martha Merrill's Books. He'll talk about how his kids were seated on a portable bench, something that you bring to a parade to sit on, and how they got knocked off that bench when the defendant ran into them. The next point in the presentation of evidence will involve the Waukesha Blazers. I think it's important to point out you can't consider this evidence of each crime in a vacuum. You need to consider the entire incident. Because at this point, by the time we get to the Blazers, the defendant will have already hit or run over 15 people. You'll see in the video that at this point the defendant has actually increased his speed, and you'll hear from Detective Mike Carpenter with the Waukesha Police Department. He's going to come in and talk about speed analysis. He'll tell you that he's certified to use a software program that basically takes surveillance video, measures the amount of time it takes to travel a certain distance in that video, and calculates an average speed over that distance. And he'll tell you that in video obtained from Bosco's Social Club, which is right in front of where the Blazers got hit, he'll tell you that that video in that area right before the Blazers got hit, the defendant was traveling in excess of 33 miles an hour. There were 5 victims in the Blazers. That includes Jackson Sparks, who was walking with his big brother Tucker. Cut down in the road before he had a chance to put any miles on his soul. Jackson was 8. He died 2 days later in the hospital. I think this is a good point to talk about the law of first-degree intentional homicide. Again, the judge provided the law to you. It'll be provided to you again at the conclusion of the trial. I want you to take a look at that second element. I don't know what the defense in this case is going to be. In fact, the defendant isn't required to put one on at all. He can sit there and not say a word throughout this trial, and that's perfectly within his right, and you can't hold that against him. And in fact, if we If he does that and we don't prove each and every one of these counts to you beyond a reasonable doubt, you must find him not guilty. That's the law. But if he does choose to present a defense, if he does raise any issues, I expect that he will likely claim that he didn't mean to kill these people. Take a look at that second bullet point. Keep that in mind as you're watching these videos, as you're learning about how this parade unfolded. Consider whether the defendant was aware that his conduct was practically certain to cause the death of another human being. We're going to move further down the parade route, and the next group after the Blazers is the Extreme Dance Group. There were girls of really all ages in this group, from toddlers being pulled in strollers up to high school age teenage dancers. 15 victims, 15 people associated with this group either got hit or were very close to getting hit. That doesn't include 2 additional spectators who were watching the parade from the south side of Main Street near the 5 Points intersection, right in front of the Extreme Dance team as the defendant drove through. Girls in this dance group suffered catastrophic injuries. The group of victims also includes parents, grandparents, siblings, people marching with the group, but not necessarily as dancers. You're not going to hear from everybody who got hit. You're going to hear from the 2 instructors, the 2 young ladies who were tasked with teaching these girls these routines and marching with them and encouraging them and comforting them after the fact. And they're going to, in the video, identify for you where all these girls are positioned, and it'll be very clear the path of travel of the vehicle as it goes through that group of young ladies, who was hit and who was nearly hit. The next group down the parade route is Citizens Bank, and here we reach the second count of intentional homicide. Jane Kulik was marching with Citizens Bank with her friends, with her co-workers. This is the only count of homicide for which there is no clear video depicting how she died. So instead of watching video, you're going to hear evidence from her co-worker and from the man who was driving the truck pulling this float. And they're really the ones who are in the best position to observe exactly what happened to Jane Kulik as the defendant plowed through that parade route. And they're going to describe for you how she was struck, how she was run over. A medical examiner will explain that Jane Kulik's cause of death was multiple blunt force traumatic injuries. We'll move further down southwest along the parade route, and we'll learn about a group that was standing in front of the steaming cup. Spectators, again. Innocent people have nothing to do with anything. You're going to hear about 3 kids who were standing along with a bunch of others along the curb in front of steaming cup. And as the defendant swerved from the left side of the street as he hit Jane back to the right side of the street as he was avoiding the vehicle that was ahead of him, clipped the curb and hit these 3 kids. Then we're going to move in to the next group in the parade route, which is the Dancing Grannies. This is the deadliest point in the parade. 7 people in this group were struck. 4 of them died. You're going to hear from witnesses, members of the Dancing Grannies group, who will come in and they will describe being completely caught off guard. They will describe seeing pom-poms in the air, and the next thing they knew, there were bodies on the ground before the pom-poms hit the ground. You will learn about Bill Ospel, who was marching in a support capacity. He was there to support his wife Lola and their friends, the rest of the Dancing Grannies, just walking along the parade route trying to be helpful. And as the defendant swerved around the Dancing Granny's vehicle, which is a white SUV, you'll see it in the video, swerved around the right side, he hits Bill. And the medical examiner is going to tell you that Bill Hospital cause of death was multiple blunt force traumatic injuries. You'll learn about Tamara Durand marching with the Grannies. This is her first parade. You'll see a diagram of where she was positioned. You'll see video of her getting struck. The medical examiner will tell you that Tamara Durand, cause of death, multiple blunt force traumatic injuries. You'll hear about Lee Owen, another dancing granny, positioned right next to Tamara, who had just begun one of her favorite routines, walking in a winter wonderland, when she got hit. You'll learn about Jenny Sorensen. You'll learn that Jenny was walking at the front of the group carrying the banner. You'll learn that Jenny was normally a coach for the group. Normally she rode in the vehicle in the back so that she could provide feedback and critique to her dance mates. But she filled in at the last moment today and helped carry the banner. You'll see video of Jenny getting struck. Medical examiner will tell you that Jenny Sorensen's cause of death was multiple blunt force traumatic injuries. You'll hear more speed analysis testimony at this point. You're going to hear from Mike Smith with the Wisconsin State Patrol, who's going to testify very similarly to how Detective Carpenter is going to testify about speed analysis. Basically, he takes surveillance video, this time from Curry Insurance, which is on the south side of Main Street. It shows the grannies getting struck. They measure point to point and measure the time between those 2 points and calculate an average speed over that distance, which is roughly from Clinton Street up until the camera cuts out. He'll tell you that at that point, where the defendant crashed through the Dancing Grannies group, he was traveling at approximately 32 miles an hour. The eighth and final group that was struck by the defendant in this case is the Catholic Communities of Waukesha. This is a faith-based organization. It consists of members of multiple local Catholic churches who got together that Sunday afternoon to spread a little Christmas cheer. There is not great video, and perhaps that's for the best, of this group getting struck. In total, there were 19 victims in this group. In what little you can see from the video, you can see the defendant's taillights swerving from the left side of the street to the right. You can see them bouncing up and down. There are no speed bumps in that section of the road. The next phase of the evidence will involve the manhunt. How authorities found the defendant, took him into custody, and the statements he made after he was placed under arrest. You will hear from Officer Bryce Skolton, who was positioned, if you look at this third of the three maps I referenced, on the very top of this map at the intersection of Main Street and Wisconsin. Officer Skolton was positioned at that point to direct the parade route to make a left-hand turn from Main Street onto Wisconsin, to stop any traffic coming from the other directions. He saw the defendant come around that corner. He saw the defendant drive right at him as he's standing in the middle of the road. And as the defendant went around him to the left and went south, Officer Skolton fired 3 rounds from his service weapon. All 3 rounds hit the car. None of them hit the defendant. You will hear from another police officer who was not on duty that day. He just happens to be a police officer. His name is Officer Ralph Salyers. He's from the Wauwatosa Police Department. If you take a look at that map, he's going to describe to you being on the sidewalk, leaving the parade. He was walking past Les Paul Middle School. He's going to describe hearing a loud commotion. He's going to describe seeing a red SUV with just utterly totaled front end damage coming to rest in a driveway at 338 Maple Avenue. You're going to see video of the defendant in the red SUV pulling into the alley behind 338 Maple, and then a few moments later you'll see what appears to be the defendant coming back onto the screen and running away from the vehicle, apparently in a hurry, apparently aware that he had done something terribly wrong. You're going to hear from a series of witnesses between that point and the defendant's arrest, where they will describe the defendant approaching them, contacting them, asking them to use their phone. Because he was in such a rush when he ditched his SUV, he left his phones behind. Then you're going to hear from Daniel Ryder, and I think the evidence will show Daniel Ryder really is a good embodiment of the spirit of Waukesha. Not knowing what Mr. Brooks had done, Daniel Ryder opened his home to the defendant. The defendant showed up at his front door without any shoes on, with a t-shirt, said he was cold, said he needed to use the phone. Daniel Ryder let him inside, gave him a sandwich, let him use the phone, and then gave him a coat. And a few minutes later, the police showed up. You're going to see body cam video of that arrest. You're going to hear from Officer Rebecca Carpenter that she responded to that area around where Daniel Ryder lives because of reports of a man knocking on doors. She takes him into custody. He identifies himself on the body cam video. They search him, and in his pocket they find a key to the red Ford Escape used in this attack. You're going to hear from a series of officers who retraced the defendant's steps that night, recovered surveillance video showing the path that he took, the path that's depicted here in the third map that I'm showing you. You're going to hear how they recovered his sandal, his sweatshirt along the escape route. You're going to hear from Detective Jay Carpenter with the City of Waukesha Police Department, and he's going to talk to you about the defendant's statements after he was taken into custody. I'm going to let that interview speak for itself, other than pointing out for you that you will, I think, quickly learn a few main points about the defendant on the night that this happened. He was lucid. He was aware. He was intelligent. He was probing for information. And he was deceptive. We're going to then wrap up with testimony from people who plugged any of the remaining holes in the investigation. You'll hear from crime lab analysts about DNA evidence, about finding the defendant's DNA on the steering wheel of the red Ford Escape. You're going to hear from Wisconsin State Patrol Inspector Ryan Schultz. He's going to testify about the mechanical inspection that he did on this vehicle. In case you were wondering if there were any issues that would have prevented Mr. Brooks from stopping or from pulling over, he's going to quickly put those concerns to bed. He conducted that mechanical inspection. No problem with the brakes. The accelerator didn't stick. There were no mechanical problems that would have prevented Mr. Brooks from stopping. Finally, we're going to close our presentation of the evidence, not with a witness, but with an experience for you. You are going to go to a secure location, and you're going to have a chance to see the murder weapon with your own eyes. You'll be able to see that red Ford Escape. I want to close now with a few points about how the evidence relates to the law in this case. There are, obviously, we've gone through the 6 counts of first-degree intentional homicide. But in addition to those homicide counts, there are 6 counts of hit and run involving death. Those are separate charges. The evidence will support convictions on all of them, all 12 counts of homicide. But they involve the same 6 victims. Another point I want to bring to your attention is that for each count of first-degree intentional homicide and each count of first-degree recklessly endangering safety, if you find the defendant guilty of any of those counts, you have to answer a second question. Did he commit that crime while using a dangerous weapon? And here the evidence will show that he didn't use a gun or a knife to commit these crimes. He used 3,500 pounds of steel, rubber, and glass. The defendant's also charged with 2 counts of felony bail jumping. You'll hear evidence to support those charges, which includes the fact that the defendant was charged with a felony offense in a case in Milwaukee County and released from custody subject to conditions of bail. And then he was charged with another felony offense in a separate case in Milwaukee County and released from custody subject to conditions of bail. And those conditions of bail included requirements that he not commit any new crime. And those conditions of bail were in effect on November 21st of 2021. We have dozens of video clips to show you. You're going to have notebooks and writing utensils while we present this evidence to you. It's a lot to keep track of. And when you go back into the deliberation room, it might be difficult while you're deliberating to remember which video was about which victim or which incident or which group. And so my suggestion to you is that as we go through these videos, you're free to do whatever you want with your notes, but my suggestion would be as we go through these videos, they each will be labeled with an exhibit number. And so I recommend that you keep track of which exhibit number corresponds with which video. That way, while you're deliberating, if you want to see those videos again, you can ask for them by exhibit number. Can't guarantee that you'll be able to see any or all of them, but you can ask. I'm done now. I want to close on one final point, and that is, on behalf of the state of Wisconsin, I want to say thank you. We work, you're serving in what is the greatest criminal justice system in the history of the world, and that's because of the 16 of you. It's because a group of citizens, randomly selected, come in and make the final, ultimate determination between guilty and not guilty. That's unique in this world. It's special. And so, we're going to go through this evidence. We're going to be mindful of your time. We know how valuable it is. We're going to be efficient, but we have a lot to get through. A lot. And at the conclusion of all that evidence, District Attorney Opper is going to stand up here and she's going to ask you to render verdicts consistent with the evidence, to find the defendant guilty of each and every count. Thank you.
Among the team of prosecutors who stood unwavering in representing the people of Waukesha County were Deputy District Attorney Leslie Basie and Assistant District Attorney Zachary Wichow, 2 attorneys whose professionalism, composure, and courtroom skill left an indelible mark on the proceedings. Since this historic trial, both have continued their service to the community in new and meaningful roles. Leslie Basie has taken on the mantle of leadership within the Waukesha County District Attorney's Office, stepping into the role of elected district attorney following the retirement of Sue Opper. Zach Wichow, widely respected by colleagues and the public alike for his legal knowledge, calm demeanor, and unwavering professionalism, particularly in a case involving more than 76 victims, was elected as a judge on the Waukesha County Circuit Court. His steady presence during one of the most emotionally charged trials in Wisconsin history exemplified the qualities essential to the bench. While Darrell Brooks may have brought the nation's attention to the county of Waukesha, it was the prosecution team, Judge Jennifer Dorow, and the grace and resilience of the community throughout this tragedy that left a lasting impression. In the face of unimaginable horror, Waukesha showed the world dignity, strength, and class, and that is what made so many come to admire and respect them.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Zachary Allen Wichow,
I, Zachary Allen Wichow,
who have been elected to the office of Circuit Court Judge, Branch 6,
who have been elected to the office of Circuit Court Judge, Branch 6,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Wisconsin,
that I will administer justice without respect to persons,
that I will administer justice without respect to persons,
and will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of said office to the best of my ability.
and will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of said office to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
And can I call on Jay and Julie Mitchell?
I told them about 20 minutes ago that they'd be doing this, and it's not a speaking part. Thank you. Well, thank you everybody for coming. I have a special thanks to the judges and the court commissioners who are all here. You've been nothing but helpful and amazing colleagues and partners to have over the last few weeks as I ease into this new role, so thank you. In the wise words of our master of ceremonies, the mind can absorb only as much as the seat can endure. And I know I'm the only thing standing between a room full of many lawyers and an open bar, so I just have a few things I need to say. There are many people here to whom I owe much gratitude. My story is not one that involves pulling myself up by my own bootstraps. I have been fortunate my whole life. I've been surrounded by great people who do great things for great reasons. To my parents, Jay and Julie, thank you for raising us in a home where faith and family were always the top priorities. To my beautiful girls, who are back from the bathroom, thank you for being so much stinking fun. And thank you for giving me something to look forward to every day when I leave work. I'm thankful to my former colleagues in the Kenosha, Milwaukee, and Waukesha County District Attorney's offices. Our camaraderie and support for one another made the work feel like we were a band of superheroes. I'm grateful to my former bosses, people like Leslie Basie and Sue Hopper and Karen Label, just to name a few. All great trial lawyers, all great human beings who have devoted their lives to protecting the community and doing it in a way that the community can be proud of. And finally, to my beautiful wife, Allie, thank you for being the compass and the ballast, for shouldering the mental load of organizing the details of our day-to-day lives, and for reminding me each day what those details are. Several times. A few years ago when I was thinking about a career change, Judge Ramirez gave me, I think, the best advice. He said, you can run only if your wife is 100% on board with you. I thought that was good advice, so one night after a loud drama-filled dinner with our three little divas over here, I mentioned to her that I was thinking about leaving the best job I ever had to pursue a spot on the bench. And she looked at me, and her shoulders dropped just a hair. She let out a sigh, and she said, for the love of God, can you please unload the dishwasher? And then she dove right in and embraced the sacrifice of being a single mom while working a full-time job, managing all sorts of chronic illness, and healing all assortment of acute sicknesses, while I toured the county sharing beers with voters and feasting in pancake breakfasts. So many pancake breakfasts. Now just a few words about this new role and what you all can expect from me. I'm about 3 weeks into the new job, and so far we've only had one litigant cuss at me on the record, which is actually a downward trend from my last job. So I'm enjoying settling into the new routine and the facilities. My predecessor got into a little bit of trouble for saying this publicly, but we do in fact have our own bathroom. Somebody thought it would be wise to leave Judge Pizzo and I all alone, unsupervised, on the second floor in this building. To the prankster who left us a gift basket full of coloring books and juice boxes. Joke's on you, we love them. To my new colleagues on the bench. I promise to be a team player, to carry my own weight, and when I can, to carry some of yours. I will not be ashamed to ask questions because I know that getting it right is more noble than simply getting it done. To my friends in law enforcement, the thing I will miss most about my old job, my work as a prosecutor, is the day-to-day partnership that we forge. Law enforcement in this county is professional, driven, and tenacious, and every resident in Waukesha County should be thankful to have it. Now, I will not be a rubber stamp. There may come a time in the course of my career when I suppress evidence that you risked your life to get. I might, time and again, impose a light sentence that you may disagree with, but I hope you can trust that every decision I make in a criminal case will be rooted in a constitutional balance of personal liberty and public safety. And as long as you do your job to the best of your ability, just as you've always done while I've been working with you, I will be right there with you to keep this community safe. To my counterparts in the legislative and executive branches, we're going to nerd out here a little bit. In Federalist number 78, Alexander Hamilton described the importance of an independent judiciary. He wrote that the judiciary, from the nature of its functions, will always be the least dangerous to the political rights of the Constitution, that it has no influence over either the sword or the purse, that it has neither force nor will, but merely judgment. By the way, in that same essay, Hamilton also made a very compelling argument for lifetime appointments of judicial officers. Just something to think about. Anyway, my point is this, that the separation of powers is what makes this country and this state functional. I sincerely wish you all the best in your efforts to govern, and in turn, I will do my best to support the Constitution. To the members of the bar here today, I will do the work to be prepared. I will treat you and your clients fairly. I will make decisions based in the law. I know that I will almost never be the smartest person in the courtroom, and I don't see that as a flaw. I see it as an opportunity to ask tough and fair questions, to keep an open mind, and to use logic and reason to reach a just outcome. And if you don't like that outcome, we have several very excellent Court of Appeals judges here tonight who all would be very nice by To the members of the public, the taxpayers, citizens, and everyone who may be impacted by a decision I make, know that I take seriously the trust you have placed in me. This is a job of enormous weight and consequence. I am guided by Psalm 82. Give justice to the weak and the orphan. Maintain the right of the lowly and the destitute. Rescue the weak and the needy. Deliver them from the hand of the wicked. I am honored to be the fifth person to occupy this seat, Branch 6 of the Waukesha County Circuit Court. Thank you all for placing your trust in me. I will not let you down.
Well deserved. That was just a little extra I wanted to add in there because I thought that was really nice. And we got to see kind of a different side of Zach that we hadn't seen before, of him cutting jokes, because he's always so serious in the courtroom. You know, well, because he's professional.
Mr. Brooks, my first question to you is, will you be making an opening statement at this point or deferring until your case, meaning the defense portion of the case?
I will be deferring at this time, Your Honor. I need a little more adequate time to make sure I go over the points that I need to make.
All right, then the court will honor that request, advise the jury he's deferring his opening statement until a later point in the proceedings. I am going to just take a short break so I can talk some logistics with the parties to determine whether it makes sense to start with a witness tonight yet. It's 4 o'clock, a little bit after, or wait until tomorrow. So either way, you'll come back because you'll either hear testimony or I'll read an instruction for you. But at this point, the jury may be excused. Attorney Upper, your first witness, how long would that witness be?
Our first witness is Sergeant Warner. I expect his testimony to take 10 to 15 minutes on direct. I would ask that you would hear his testimony this evening, or this afternoon, Your Honor. He was supposed to have left town at about noon today to take his daughter on a college visit in Kentucky. He's delayed his departure so he could provide his testimony. And if we can get him in and out, he will leave at 5 o'clock and arrive at midnight at his destination. I have a second witness, if the court would hear me, who's here as well. Her testimony probably would also take about 15 minutes on direct, maybe a little longer. No? Mr. Mitchell says no. She has traveled here from Janesville. Her transportation is also difficult. And so she's here and ready to go if the court would indulge those two witnesses this afternoon.
It certainly seems reasonable. Mr. Brooks, my question to you then is, do you want to come back over for the testimony of those witnesses?
I would prefer to. I'm still kind of taken aback by not being able to know exactly how many witnesses are expected to testify.
He is so full
and
of
not
it.
being able to turn in my own witness list.
Well, Mr. Brooks, you've been given copies of the witness list. The state's offered you a flash drive with all of the exhibits to streamline what will be presented at trial versus what is in discovery, so you've had ample opportunity to review those. I'm happy to bring you back. I need you to pledge to me that you will follow the rules of procedure and evidence, that you will only interrupt if you have an objection.
That objection needs to be founded in law. And then you need to pledge to me that you will honor whatever decision I make so that the testimony of these individuals can proceed within the time frame that the prosecution has indicated it will take. You, of course, will have an opportunity to cross-examine them. Are you willing to follow the rules of courtesy and decorum and the rules of procedure and evidence?
From what you explained yesterday, the objections you said have to be like, I think you said like 3 words. Is the way to actually object. So I don't recall you.
I can give you up to a sentence.
What I am trying to avoid, sir, are what are called speaking objections. The idea behind that is that you give me just a little bit of information so that I can either make a determination or, if appropriate, send the jury back out so that I can then hear arguments from the parties. Some objections really are one word: hearsay, maybe 3 words, calls for speculation, things of that nature. So if you're willing to abide by that procedure, then you can come back to this courtroom.
I can't really definitively give an answer right now to that.
You disgust me.
So you're not willing to follow the rules of courtesy and decorum and procedure and evidence?
That's not what I said.
That's why I'm asking the clarification.
Question, sir.
I was clear in what I said. I don't think I can make that determination right now.
Let me ask it this way, sir. You may reclaim your right to be present if you are willing to conduct yourself consistently with the decorum and respect inherent in the concepts of courts and judicial proceedings. Are you able to do that, sir?
I thought I have.
Sir, it's I think, a fairly simple question. I'm asking you if you are willing to conduct yourself appropriately.
I'll shorten it to that.
Are you willing to conduct yourself appropriately, sir?
I have, to the best of my ability.
Sir, please answer my question directly. Are you willing to conduct yourself appropriately?
I have conducted myself appropriately.
He's so annoying.
I'm not asking about your past behavior. I'm asking if you're willing from this point forward, for the purposes of the testimony of two witnesses to conduct yourself appropriately?
I have.
That's not my question. That's not the answer I'm looking for. I'm not asking if you have. I'm asking if you're willing going forward to conduct yourself appropriately during the questioning of these two witnesses. Yes or no?
I'm gonna end up getting put back over here eventually if I come over there.
Mr. Brooks, I'm further advising you, I'm looking for a direct answer of yes or no, and that your failure to give me a yes or no answer will be considered by this court to be non-responsive. So let me ask you the question one more time. Are you willing to conduct yourself appropriately during the questioning of these two witnesses?
To be 100% honest, I cannot answer that.
All right, then based on that answer, which is non-responsive to the question that I asked, he has not given me a pledge or indication of a willingness to conduct himself appropriately going forward, and based on that, he'll remain where he is. You will remain unmuted, and so if you have an objection, you can lodge that objection within accordance or according to the rules of evidence, sir. All right, with that, let's have the jurors brought back in, and we'll start with the taking of testimony.
One quick second to put this up, then you're on.
Go ahead.
Can you tell me what you mean by non-responsive?
You did not answer yes or no.
Yeah.
All right, do we need to
So
back
that's
out?
taken as being non-responsive?
Do I need to, I wanted to see if the camera angle, so have him wait for a sec, please.
Sorry.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
I'm not going to answer any other questions at this point. The state's setting up a map for use with a witness. I want to make sure that it's something that is viewable on the witness camera that is being transmitted into the courtroom where you are seated. So let me back up.
The whole thing.
Let me back up, zoom out a bit.
Can I say something for the record?
Do you think with where that chair is, the witness will
I would ask the witnesses to have to stand where I am so that everybody can see.
Oh, that would be a good idea.
Okay.
No, you're not muted yet.
Yes, so that's a judicial determination.
Mr. Brooks, if you're asking me to make a judicial determination, I've already rendered a decision about where you're going to be.
Because I didn't answer your question the way you wanted to.
Oh, all right, I'm going to mute you, sir. Now we're moving on to that part of the procedure since you are you're not following the protocol that I've set in place, that you are back to one of these sovereign tactics about, have I made a judicial determination? The record speaks for itself, sir. I'm not going to make a further record on that, nor will I answer the question about, am I making a judicial determination? I've made a decision, and that decision is you will remain in the other courtroom. Once the jury is brought back in, I will unmute so that you can lodge objections, but if you interrupt without making an objection and just start talking or start talking about a judicial determination, then I'm going to mute you once again, and the procedure for objecting will require that you raise your sign, write it out, and provide it to the bailiff, who will provide it to the court so that I can rule on it. If that slows things down, then so be it, but that's the procedure that I'm going to follow. All right, the jurors can be brought in then. Ladies and gentlemen, you may have a seat, and the writing materials will be passed out. All right. All the materials passed out? Very well. Then the state may call its first witness.
Thank you, Judge. State call Sergeant Dave Warner.
Well, sir, would you please state your first and last names for the record and spell each?
Yes. My name is Sergeant David, D-A-V-I-D, Wanner, W-A-N-N-E-R.
Thank you. Go ahead, Attorney Opper, your witness.
Thank you. Sir, how are you employed?
I'm a patrol sergeant with the City of Waukesha Police Department.
How long have you worked in law enforcement?
18 years.
And as patrol sergeant, what are your general duties and responsibilities?
I oversee officers across all shifts that are assigned to the patrol division.
Want to direct your attention to the date of November 21, 2021. Did you work that day?
Yes.
Were there any events occurring in the city of Waukesha that afternoon?
The Waukesha Christmas Parade was that afternoon.
Has the Christmas parade been held in years prior to prior to 2021?
Yes, every year that I've been employed at the police department, we've had a Christmas parade.
And is it typically that third week in November before Thanksgiving?
Yes, every year that I can remember it has been.
Okay. Is there any planning or preparation that goes into holding a parade in Waukesha?
Yes, there are meetings with the group that's putting on the parade in advance. There's also a group of individuals that prior to the parade, usually the Friday before, will post no parking signs along the parade route. There's a group from our city garage or Department of Public Works that'll put out barricades at the designated intersections where we request them to put them out.
And what about manpower? What type of manpower would you devote to an event like this, sir?
It's rather significant given the large area that a parade like this encompasses, the estimated amount of attendance at the parade between detectives, police officers, supervisors, reserve officers, community service officers. I would say we have in excess of 30 additional bodies planned that day just to handle the parade itself.
You mentioned the use of individuals such as reserve officers and community service officers, I think you said. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are those sworn law enforcement officers?
They are not sworn, no.
What is their role or function?
The reserve officer group is a group of people who volunteer their time to help with events like parades. They're given training in directing traffic and closing streets down. A community service officer is a paid position. They're part-time employees, usually younger individuals looking to learn more about a career in law enforcement.
And you said also parking attendants would be assisting in this endeavor?
Correct. We're usually looking to get as many extra bodies as we can, and the assistance from our parking agents is usually required for this event as well.
And this would be in addition to the sworn law enforcement officers that are assigned to work the parade?
Correct.
And obviously you still need other officers to patrol the city, correct?
Yes.
Where is the parade held?
The parade takes up a large portion of our downtown area. There's a staging area that the floats before the parade that they're all instructed to assemble in a particular area along White Rock Avenue between Niagara Street and Main Street. And that's about a 3-hour process of getting all the parade participants into that area and lined up accordingly. The parade itself runs along Main Street from White Rock westbound to the Veterans Park area where it makes a turn and then heads up Wisconsin Avenue and ends near the Waukesha Public Library.
Sir, if I could ask you to stand up and refer to the diagram behind you. This is a map that's been marked as State's Exhibit number 1. Do you see that sticker in the bottom right-hand corner?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, it's a little tight up there. Sorry. But if you could start in the upper right-hand corner of the map, and Your Honor, if we put up the digital copy of the map as well, I know it's hard to see, but then we'd have to do the screen share again. Is that correct?
Yes, that's my understanding.
Okay, I'm going to ask the paralegal to please put up State's Exhibit number 1 on the digital copy as well.
Go ahead.
All right, and Ms. Gussie, if you could zoom in on the upper right-hand corner, please. There you go. All right, sir, if you can use the map, the big map in front of you, please, and the jury can follow along with the digital copy if they want. So starting in the upper right-hand corner. Yes. What's up there, please?
That is Frame Park.
And what's at Frame Park?
Frame Park has a lot of, it's got a playground for children, there's a very large baseball diamond, different shelters, there's a formal garden, there's a boat launch. It's a very large park in our city that encompasses a lot of different activities.
Is the boat launch shown on Exhibit 1?
Yes, right here.
Okay. And the waterway that's shown on the exhibit, what is that waterway?
That is the Fox River.
Now, is the parade route shown on Exhibit 1?
Sorry, Attorney Upper, can you give me 1 second? Mr. Brooks, just a reminder, you're not muted.
Oh,
All right, I'm sorry for the interruption. Go ahead.
I'm sorry too. I thought I was muted. I apologize.
That's okay. Thank you so much.
Go ahead and point out the parade route, please.
So the parade route in this map is essentially this purple line. This area here is what I referred to earlier as a staging area. And then actually at this corner right here, westbound is where the parade route would follow down to the corner here. I refer to this as Veterans Park. That's that area there. And then it would turn up Wisconsin Avenue and end around the library right here, which is that green area.
Okay, and we're just putting that up on the digital display too right now. Now, on this map, sir, we've designated several points along the parade route to reflect where various officers were positioned. Is that correct?
Yes.
And could you just briefly walk us through it? I don't need you to name every officer, but just point out the intersections and what was located at each intersection using Exhibit 1.
Sure. I was here at the intersection of Hartwell and White Rock. I had a police SUV, an unmarked police vehicle, trying to maintain the integrity of the route and keeping the road shut down. Here we had various officers. It's kind of a mixed use of barricades, marked police vehicles, police tape, just in order to keep the streets shut down and make sure that there's a visible representation that the streets are not open.
Please keep going down, westbound down Main Street, please.
Sure. So we come to Buckley and East Avenue here. Both sides of the intersection shut down with barricades. We come down further on West Main Street to Martin Street. The red line here signifies a barricade was in place there. At Main Street and North Barstow Street, again, barricades on both sides of the intersection there. Gaspar and East Main Street, a barricade. We also had a marked police fleet, as we did at other places where the yellow is signifying that. This is our 5 points area, as we call it, kind of a larger intersection with roads in different directions here. So at this intersection, we had a use of barricades, police tape, police vehicles. It's just a very large intersection to be able to shut down just with one of those things. So it kind of becomes a mixed use of different tools that are available to us. We have Clinton Street and Main Street here. Again, barricades on both sides of the intersections, along with officers. Maple Avenue and East Main Street, barricades and reserve officers. And then we come around toward the Veterans Park area, again, another very large intersection where we had an officer and multiple barricades shutting off the traffic. And then along Wisconsin Avenue here, we had one point at Maple Avenue where we had a CSO along with a barricade.
And right now you're pointing at the very bottom edge of the map, correct?
The very bottom here.
Okay.
And then from that point east, the parade kind of disassembles with floats going different ways depending upon their size and and maneuverability at the end of the parade route.
This map, exhibit number 1, is oriented north, correct?
Yes.
Okay. The items, and I know this is like a vision test for everybody, but on the map, the yellow boxes represent what, please?
The yellow boxes on this map represent police vehicles that were utilized in the parade.
Okay, and what about the blue boxes?
The blue boxes are the names of personnel assigned, where you see an RO, that would be a reserve officer, PA would be a parking agent, CSO would be our community service officer, OFC would be an officer.
All right. The reserve officers and non-sworn officers, would they be wearing a police uniform or some type of designation?
Yes, they all have.
Hold on. There's an objection. It's overruled. He may answer.
All personnel on the parade route are in uniforms. Additionally, everyone, it's part of our policy that they are required to wear traffic vests, which would have been a yellow and could have been blue and yellow or orange and yellow traffic vest that says police on it.
Okay. I'd like to go back to the area on White Rock where you were located, where the units were staging, correct?
Yes.
Now, can you describe for us where the road was actually shut off by police so that no motorist could actually travel down the road?
Sure. I mean, this actually further north than here, it's off the map, is where we had our first point of shutdown. It was at White Rock Avenue and Niagara Street. We used Niagara Street to divert any traffic that would have come that direction. So then along here, there would have been shut down at Niagara. There was another street called Perkins where it was shut down. And then right here is Baxter Street, where we had the street shut down. Additionally, here along the staging route, North Hartwell Avenue here was shut down on both sides of it to ensure no traffic entered into the staging area while that space was occupied.
All right, and before I have you sit down, there's two other areas designated on the map I'd like to ask you about. This is on the left, upper left quadrant of the map. On the north side of the Fox River, there's something indicated as the Barstow Hill. Do you see that on the map, sir?
Yes, right here by the green line.
What's the Barstow Hill?
The Barstow Hill is just a very steep hill that more or less connects our downtown to a neighborhood and is a thoroughfare of traffic coming and going from the downtown area.
Okay, that's Barstow Road there?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then just to the right of that, there's something marked as a mobile gas station, is that correct?
Yes.
Objection.
Overruled.
And there is a gas station at that intersection, sir?
Yes, there is a mobile gas station at the bottom of the Barstow Hill.
Okay. All right, please have a seat, sir. Sending officers out to their locations along the route here.
At 1 p.m. is when the initial few officers head out to secure the staging area. So they're out there from 1 o'clock until about 3:30. Between 3 and 3:30 is when the rest of the personnel assigned to the parade would have arrived at their locations along the route.
All right. And I assume you're in some, Your Honor, we just lost part of the Polycom.
Well, we'll pause. See what happened otherwise.
And we can take that down for now. We don't need the... Okay, so there's somebody that's running the parade as far as lining up the participants and making sure everybody that's walking in the parade is where they're supposed to be, correct?
Correct.
Is there a title for that person?
Boy, I wouldn't know what.
Your objection's noted. It's overruled. He may testify about the question asked.
Or is there somebody that you were dealing with directly that was kind of responsible for the units of the parade and you're responsible for the security of the parade?
Yes, there was a.
Overruled. He may answer.
There is a lady from the Chamber of Commerce who put on the parade. That just prior to the parade starting, I had a face-to-face contact with to inform her that the route was ready for the parade.
Now, how do you know that? How do you know that the route was ready to go?
Between 3:30 and 4 o'clock, I had driven the route several times within the parade route on the street that was shut down. It was my duty as the incident commander of the parade to make sure that the officers or personnel assigned to the parade were all in their location, that all the barricades were in place, that there was no holes in the parade route that we missed in the planning, and as a final security sweep of the route just to ensure everything was in place as we had planned for it to be.
Can you estimate how many spectators were present?
Objection.
At what time?
I'm sorry, at the start of the parade.
Thousands. Once the parade had started, I was not on the route anymore. I think the last time I drove the route itself would have been just before 4 o'clock as my final lap through.
Okay. And there's spectators on both sides of the road, north and south sides of Main Street?
Correct.
And all the way from Hartwell all the way down to Veterans Park at the end there near Wisconsin Avenue?
Yes, I'd say the majority of this.
Hold on, there's been an objection. Go ahead, what's your objection?
That is hearsay. We can't know for sure where everybody was at.
The objection is noted. It is overruled based upon the foundation previously laid by the witness. Go ahead.
The spectators are primarily from the intersection of White Rock and Main Street westbound.
So you were satisfied it was appropriately safe to start the parade, is that right, sir?
Yes.
What did you do?
I had face-to-face contact with the organizer of the parade. I indicated to her that I checked the route and from the police side of things that we were ready for the parade to proceed, and let her know that she could begin whenever she was ready.
About what time of day was that?
It was right about 4 p.m.
And you had mentioned the units were staging on White Rock near where you were posted, is that right?
Yes.
And did you see, as the units would enter the parade route, then they all kind of move forward, I'm assuming?
Yes,
Hearsay.
Overruled.
the parade participants are set up on either side of White Rock Avenue, and they're kind of funneled together into almost a zipper type fashion as they enter the parade route.
And as they march forward towards the parade route, then at some point is the road behind them vacant?
Correct.
And what do you do when that happens?
We try to cause as little disruption in the city. Shutting down White Rock Avenue, it's a very major thoroughfare in the city, and having it shut down for that extended period of time causes some pretty significant traffic problems. So as the road is no longer occupied by parade participants, we try to open up the road from behind them, keeping the back of the parade shut down, always taking into account a street for a car to turn off onto. So
Did you remain in that same position near White Rock and Hartwell?
yes.
And do you remember how you had your squad positioned?
Objection, that's hearsay.
Overruled.
I had my squad positioned across White Rock Avenue in an east-west fashion, essentially in the middle of the roadway. The road is much wider than the SUV squad I was driving is. I positioned it that way to give a visual representation to motorists that the road wasn't open.
And is your squad marked or unmarked?
It is unmarked.
Objection, irrelevant.
It's relevant. The answer may stand. Make sure if you hear an objection, sir, that you wait until I rule on it too. Thank you.
Are there red and blue lights on your squad car, sir?
Yes.
Objection, irrelevant.
Overruled. The answer may stand.
Did you have your red and blue lights activated as it was parked across the roadway?
Objection, irrelevant.
Overruled.
Yes.
You remember hearing something about a disturbance near the boat launch?
Yes.
Objection, hearsay.
Are you offering it for the...
Foundational, Your Honor.
All right, it's not being offered for the truth of the matter asserted. The objection is overruled. He may answer. I believe he answered yes, and it may stand.
All right. What do you remember hearing about an incident at the boat launch?
When I was near my position on Hartwell and White Rock, I was speaking with one of our reserve officers. We were discussing the proper timing of the opening of the road. And I overheard actually on his police radio that he was wearing squads that were not assigned to the parade being sent to a fight at Frame Park that involved knives.
Were you aware of any vehicles being associated with that fight?
Objection, irrelevant.
Overruled. He may answer.
I did not hear of any vehicles associated.
What do you remember next, sir?
I remember seeing and hearing squads responding to this fight at Frame Park. And at that time, we were still focused on opening up the roadway, and I made my way back toward my unmarked police vehicle, and I looked to my right or to the north down White Rock Avenue, and I saw a red SUV traveling toward me at a high rate of speed.
What do you mean by a high rate of speed, sir?
Objection, that's hearsay.
Overruled. He may answer.
I believe the vehicle is traveling in excess of 40 miles per hour.
What's the posted speed limit there on White Rock Avenue?
It's a 25 mile per hour zone.
What about Main Street in downtown Waukesha? What's the posted speed limit there, sir?
The speed limit
Irrelevant.
Overruled. It's relevant.
the speed limit throughout the parade route is 25 miles per hour.
What did you do when you saw this red SUV traveling at a high rate of speed?
Objection, leading the witness.
The objection is noted. It's overruled.
When I saw the red SUV traveling toward me at a high rate of speed, I used both hands and waved them overhead like this in an attempt to catch the attention of the driver.
Were you dressed in a police uniform, sir?
Yes.
Let me just put on the record when the witness, so that's clear, placed both hands over his head in what I would describe as a waving kind of back and forth at a diagonal gesture. Thank you. Go ahead.
Did the car continue in your direction, or the SUV?
Yes, it did.
What did you observe the path of travel for the SUV to be?
Objection, that's hearsay.
Mr. Brooks, it's not hearsay. Your objection is overruled. You may answer.
Could you state the question one more time?
Sure. Where did you see the SUV go? Better question.
Objection, irrelevant.
Overruled.
The SUV entered the parade route.
I want you to describe what you remember seeing as it passed your location, please.
As I was waving my hands overhead, I was approximately 6 feet from where the SUV was driving. As the driver passed essentially in front of me by about 6 feet, I could see the operator of the vehicle and just a dazed, straight, focused look straight ahead, not looking at anyone.
Did the driver appear to respond to your efforts to stop the vehicle?
There was absolutely no response.
Did you notice the car slow down in any fashion?
No, in fact,
Hearsay.
It's not hearsay. It's overruled. He may answer.
as the SUV passed me, I looked over the hood or the top of the police vehicle that I had positioned on the road there, fully expecting that as it passed that I would see the car slam on its brakes as it realized that it entered the parade route, figuring it was a lost motorist. I didn't see that happen. It continued into the parade route at a high rate of speed.
What did you do?
Upon seeing that, I got on my radio in an attempt to notify other personnel assigned to the parade route. I stated that a red SUV had just blown by me.
Do you remember using those exact words, sir?
Objection, that's irrelevant.
Overruled. He may answer.
I don't know if I said a red or maroon SUV, but I remember saying that it had blown by me.
Were there parade units still on White Rock attempting to get onto the parade route at that point?
Yes.
Objection.
Were you able to see the vehicle clearly as it
Hold on,
went?
he
I'm sorry.
objected. It's overruled. Go ahead.
From where you were standing there, were you able to turn and watch the SUV as it traveled past you down White Rock towards Main Street?
Objection.
Overruled.
Just asked that.
I only watched it for a short period of time before returning to my squad car, knowing that some sort of police action was going to need to be taken.
What did you do once you got to your squad?
I got in my squad car. It was bombarded with the most terrible.
I cannot imagine what those officers saw that day. There's still so much that we in the public haven't seen yet, you guys. If it's enough to make a grown man like this cry, and you know he's already seen a lot as a cop, can you imagine what they went through, experienced, heard? They must have felt so helpless that day. God bless them. Please keep them in your prayers.
It's the most terrible thing I ever heard.
The sounds. Yes. You didn't see anything at that point as far as people getting hit?
No.
Okay. I want to show you a video clip, sir. This is State's Exhibit number 2. Madam Clerk, if you could please turn on the State's table. Yep, I'll tell you. Okay?
Just show it to the witness.
I'll show it to you first. So, Sergeant Warner, if you look at the screen in front of you, we're going to play a video clip. It's pretty short in duration. I want you to watch it first before we show it to the jury. I'm going to ask you some questions, okay?
Okay.
Did you see that clip, sir?
Yes.
Is that a video clip you've seen before?
I have seen that, yes.
Okay. Do you believe that's a true and accurate representation of the SUV traveling on White Rock Avenue near the start of the parade at Main Street?
Yes.
Move for admission and permission to publish, Your Honor.
Any objection, Mr. Brooks?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
The state just moved admission of Exhibit 2.
No, I object to that. Keep it.
All right, the objection's noted. It's overruled. Exhibit 2, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is received. Permission to publish is granted.
Thank you. Please hit play. Sergeant Warner, is that consistent with the vehicle you saw traveling away from you past the parade floats that were about to enter the route?
Yes.
And is that consistent with the approximate speed you saw it traveling?
Yes.
After you became aware that something terrible was happening on the parade route, your incident commander, what do you do?
I I drove in my police vehicle down toward the area that I just heard repeated over and over on the radio where the casualties had taken place, and that would have been at Main and Gaspar. And once I got to that position, I parked my vehicle as it was impossible to drive any further.
Was there a call made for assistance?
Yes, I don't know who said it, but an officer used a code over the police radio basically requesting police assistance from any officer in the county that would be listening.
Did multiple officers respond
Yes.
from within Waukesha County?
From
The objection irrelevant.
Overruled.
Waukesha County and far beyond.
Thank you, sir. I don't have any other questions at this time.
Mr. Brooks, do you have any questions for this witness?
Yes, I do. Good afternoon, officer. First off,
Good afternoon.
I'll say this is very emotional, so I'm going to try my best not to keep you up there any longer than you would like to be. My first question is, I noticed that you are in uniform today. Is it fair to say that if you weren't here testifying that you would have been on duty today? Is it fair to ask that or say that?
Not to have been at work today.
So did you feel
Work today. Not to have been at work today.
So did you feel the testimony that you would be given at trial today warranted you to be in uniform?
Objection, relevance, Your Honor.
Sustained. You do not need to answer that, sir. Next question, Mr. Brooks.
You said you've been in duty for 18 years, correct?
Yes.
In any of those 18 years, have you ever come across or had any interaction with the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection, vague.
Sustained. You do not need to answer that, sir. Next question, Mr. Brooks.
How long have you known the plaintiff?
Objection, vague and irrelevant.
Sustained. You do not need to answer that, sir. Next question, Mr. Brooks.
Do you see the plaintiff in court today?
Objection, vague and irrelevant.
Sustained. Next question.
Do you have any knowledge of the plaintiff?
Objection,
Sustained.
Have you ever even seen the plaintiff in this matter?
same objection.
Sustained.
I want to go to the clip that was just shown.
Would you like it shown to the witness again and published to the jury?
I'm sure would he prefer for it to be so again?
I just wanted to know if that's what you were asking. You can certainly question him about it, and if need be, it can be shown again.
Okay, can you show the witness the video clip again?
Sure. All right, I can tell
From my monitor and the witness monitor, it is up, but it is not being projected to the courtroom other than that. And you can go ahead and play it.
All right, your question, sir.
In that clip, is it fair to say that you can see that there are people walking in the street and on the sidewalk? Would that be fair to say?
Yes, I could see that in the video clip.
Do you see anybody being targeted or being in a panic to get away from the vehicle?
No.
do you see the said driver of that vehicle intentionally trying to hit anyone in that video?
No.
So again, I would ask, were you brought here today to testify on behalf of the plaintiff?
Objection, asked and answered.
Sustained. He already answered that he was why he's here.
Again, I would ask just one more time for the record. Do you see the plaintiff in court today?
Objection.
Sustained. Do you have any other questions, Mr. Brooks?
Do you know of the plaintiff at all whatsoever?
Objection.
Sustained.
No further questions.
All right, thank you. Any redirect?
No.
All right, thank you, Sergeant. You may step down. Is he released from his subpoena?
Yes, please.
All right, thank you.
Sovereign citizens hold a fundamentally incorrect belief about how courts work, and that belief explains exactly why Darrell Brooks kept asking whether the plaintiffs were present in court. In a criminal case, the plaintiff is the state. Sovereign citizens believe only a living injured individual can be a plaintiff. The state, or government, is a corporation, not a real party. A case without a living plaintiff present is invalid, and the criminal court is secretly a civil or admiralty proceeding masquerading as criminal law. While some will say his repeated plaintiff questions were not strategy, they were ideological delusion dressed as legal argument, I tend to disagree just a bit. Darrell Brooks doesn't believe he is sovereign. He was just willing to use any strategy he could to kick the charges against him.
Your Honor, really quick on the record, if I may.
We're going to call the next witness. We have the jury in the courtroom. Do you have a question, sir?
I will have a oral tennis motion I would like to be put on the record.
If you have a motion, you'll have to wait until after the next witness is called. Write it down, submit it on paper, and I'll review whether it's appropriate for this court to address. All right, the state may call the next witness.
The state calls Corey Runkle.
We'll get that settled, and then the first thing I will ask you to do, excuse me, is to state and spell your first and last names for the record.
My name is Corey Runkle, and it's spelled K-O-R-I-R-U-N-K-E-L.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Runkle. Do you know a person named Erica Patterson?
Yes.
How do you know that person?
From the shelter.
What shelter are you talking about?
Women's shelter.
What city is the women's shelter in?
Waukesha.
And when did you meet Erica Patterson?
Around probably October, I think.
Okay. You are not used to testifying in court, right?
Not really.
I'm going to ask you to scoot a little bit forward. The nice lady in front of you is...
Microphone a little bit, a little closer. I think that'll help.
We just have to make sure that everybody can hear, especially the court reporter in front of you, because she's writing everything down, okay?
Okay.
So can you answer, when did you meet Erica Patterson?
Either October or November.
Of what year?
21, this year.
2021?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you meet her at the women's shelter that you're talking about? Okay. What was your living arrangements at the shelter?
Okay, it wasn't this year, it was last year, I think.
2021?
Yeah.
Okay. And what were your living arrangements at the women's shelter?
We were bunking together.
You and Erica?
Yeah.
Okay. While you were bunking together with Erica at the women's shelter, did Erica ever talk about a boyfriend of hers?
It wasn't her boyfriend.
Okay. Did she ever talk about a man?
Yeah.
And what, did she ever provide the name of that man?
Yeah.
What was it?
Daryl Brooks.
Okay. Were you with Erica on the afternoon of November 21st, 2021?
Yes, until I split up with her.
Okay. Can you tell us where you were with Erica before you split up with her?
I forgot what park it was, but we were at like the park where the dragonfly was, except for we were at the docks.
Is that in Waukesha?
Yeah.
Okay. And the docks, are you talking about a river?
Yeah.
So the park by the river?
Yeah.
Okay. What were you doing with Erica in the park?
Hanging out.
Okay. Was anybody with you?
Yeah. Kyle.
Okay. And you mentioned that you split up with Erica at some point, is that right?
Yeah.
Do you remember why?
To go hang out with Nick.
Do you know Nick's last name?
Kirby.
Okay. And Erica didn't go with you?
No.
Okay. So what happened after you split up with Erica?
She met up with Daryl.
How do you know that?
Because she was on the phone with him and they said that they were going to meet up.
Now, before that day, November 21st, had you ever met Daryl Brooks?
No.
You'd only heard his name from Erica?
Yeah.
Okay. After you split up with Erica and she went to hang out with Daryl, did Erica ever contact you or Nick after that point?
Yeah.
How did that contact take place? Was it, again, did she like see you or did she call you? How
No,
did that
she
happen?
called me on my cell phone.
Okay. And what was the nature of that conversation?
That he was beating her up and he was following her.
Okay. What did you do when you learned this information from Erica?
Me and Nick started running to where she told us she was.
Where was that?
By the school.
Okay.
I forgot what school it was, but it was by the school.
All right. Did you find her?
Yeah.
Do you remember where you found her?
Right in front of the school.
Okay. Do you remember what was happening when you found her?
He was swerving into her.
When you say he, who are you talking about?
Daryl.
Daryl, the person?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you hear Daryl saying anything to Erica at that time?
He was yelling at her to get back in the car.
Okay. Did she?
No. She tried, but I pulled her away.
Okay. Before you testified today, you reviewed a couple of surveillance videos, is that right?
Yeah. No, not today, but a while ago.
A while ago, not
Yeah.
today. I'd like to put Exhibit 3 up on the screen for the witness for identification.
Go ahead.
So, Ms. Runkle, we're going to play a few moments from this video. I want you to watch and see if it's the same video that you've reviewed previously. Okay, so we're just going to play about 10 seconds here.
I could just tell that's her walking up.
Okay, let's pause there. So you viewed this video. Is it an accurate depiction of how the events unfolded in front of the school you're talking about?
Yeah.
I'd move Exhibit 3 into evidence and ask to publish.
Any objection, Mr. Brooks?
Yeah, my objection would be, you've only played 5 seconds of the video, whereas the other 5, you just said 10 seconds that you would play. I'm curious to see the rest of the video.
Your objection is noted. It's overruled. This is for foundation to establish it's what the witness is going to testify about. She's testified. It's a fair and accurate depiction of the events that unfolded in her presence, and I will receive Exhibit 3. Permission to publish is granted.
we're going to hit play from the beginning.
There's his car.
Let's hit a pause.
Okay.
Let's hit pause. We're at 16 seconds. We saw a person wearing a blue shirt walking from the left. Do you know who that person is?
Erica.
Erica Patterson?
Yeah.
And when you said, there's his car, what car were you referring to?
The red one. The
And
SUV.
do you know who was driving that car?
Daryl.
Daryl Brooks?
Yeah.
Okay. And again, this would have been the first time you ever saw Daryl Brooks, is that correct? Okay. We're going to resume from that point, but wait until I pause again to speak again, okay?
I'm sorry.
That's okay. So we'll play from 16 seconds.
I'm not sure, but for some reason we don't get to see what they're watching here when they resume the video, so I'll just fast forward.
Let's pause there. Paused at 2 minutes and 44 seconds. During that clip, we saw the A red SUV towards the top of the screen. Is that right?
Yeah.
And did you recognize that vehicle?
Yeah, that was Daryl's.
Okay. Yeah. We see now at this stoppage point, we can see two people on the upper right-hand corner. Do you know who those people are?
Me and Nick.
Do you know which one you are?
The one with the green gloves.
So left or right?
I think.
As we're looking.
The one up in front.
And then there's a person with a white hood. Do you know who that is?
That's Nick.
Okay, so you're the other one on the left?
Yeah.
All right. And you saw Erica?
Yeah.
All right. Let's resume playing at 2 minutes and 44 seconds. Let's pause there. Pause at 3 minutes and 19 seconds. Who's the person in the gray hooded sweatshirt?
That's Daryl.
The objection's overruled. Her answer may stand.
That's Daryl.
How far away would you say your face was from Daryl's face at this point in the video?
I was chesting up.
Chesting up?
Yeah.
So I guess that's pretty self-explanatory.
Chesting up. That's cute. Zach gets tickled by her here.
I was chesting up.
Chesting up?
Yeah.
So I guess that's pretty self-explanatory. Do you see Daryl Brooks either in the courtroom or on any monitors in the courtroom right now?
Yeah.
Your Honor, and actually for this point, I would ask that the court order the defendant to remove his mask.
Mr. Brooks, you're ordered to remove your mask.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Mr. Brooks, we talked about this at a prior hearing. For purposes of identification, you're ordered to unmask. Thank you, sir.
So now I'll re-ask that question. Ms. Runkle, do you see Daryl, the person you're talking about in the video, either in the courtroom or on a monitor in the courtroom?
Yes.
Can you tell us where?
In orange?
On the monitor in front of you?
Yeah.
I'd ask the record to reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
The record will so reflect. Thank you, Mr. Brooks. You can remask.
Let's hit play and resume at 3 minutes and 19 seconds. All right, we've reached the end. Ms. Runkle, can you tell us what was happening in that last portion of the video we just watched?
Well, before Erica, me, and Nick showed up in the camera, that's when I ran after Erica from getting ran over, and then she tried to jump in the car with him, and then I ended up chesting up to him, and then we ended up going at it. So yeah.
How would you describe the level of your volume during that interaction?
Like, what do you mean?
Were you yelling?
I'd say yeah.
Was Mr. Brooks yelling?
Yeah.
Was anybody else in that video, either Nick or Erica, were they yelling?
Erica was telling me to stop.
Okay. And what happened after the physical confrontation with Mr. Brooks?
Nick pulled me away.
And then what happened?
And then Brooks walked off
Did you see where he went?
into his car.
The red SUV in the video we
Yeah.
just watched? Was there anybody else in the SUV at that point that you saw?
No.
And what happened next?
After that, it was like he headed out.
Okay. Did Mr. Brooks say anything to you or Erica or Nick as he was leaving?
He told Erica he was. Oh.
The basis for your objection, you said objection, right?
Is hearsay and irrelevant?
Is it being offered for the truth of the matter asserted? From the
Well,
state?
it's a statement by a party opponent, so it's not hearsay.
Oh, it's his statement, sorry. I think I misheard what she said. All right. The objection is overruled. If it's, she may testify as to words that you spoke on this occasion. So go ahead.
He told Erica that he was gonna find her and he's gonna kill her.
Can we pull up Exhibit 5 for the witness, please?
That was Brooks that just said what? I know it's easy to forget, but Brooks was actually 40 years old when this trial happened, you guys. And he acts like he's, what, 12?
And while we're waiting on that, did you at any point come into contact with police or a police officer after Mr. Brooks left the scene that we just watched?
I forgot what that guy was at, the little stoppers, like where it stopped everybody. But we came into contact with him, and then he called the police officer, and then we had contact with the police officer.
Okay. At any point while Mr. Brooks was still present for the scuffle, did you or anybody else in your group call the police?
No.
You need to turn on the state table, please, for preview mode.
I will confirm it's in front of mine and the witnesses monitor, or on our monitor.
All right, Ms. Runkle, I'm showing you on your monitor a photograph that's been marked as State Exhibit number 5. Do you recognize that photograph?
Yes.
Who's in that photograph?
Erica?
Erica Patterson? Is that an accurate representation of how Erica looked the night of November 21st, so after the Waukesha Christmas Parade?
Yes.
I'd move Exhibit 5 into evidence and ask to publish.
Any objection?
Yep, on the grounds of that is hearsay.
The objection's noted. It's overruled. Exhibit 5 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
Were you with Erica Patterson the day before the parade, so November 20th?
Yes.
She gets upset here when she sees Erica bruised up.
Did she have a swollen left eye on November 20th?
No.
I want to go back to the issue of police and whether or not you had contact with them. Can you describe in a little bit more detail what exactly happened with law enforcement after the defendant left the scene that we just watched?
I'm not sure where we walked, but like I think we walked straight down to the parade. I'm not sure, but we stopped at these like stoppers where there was this I don't know what he's called. It's not a cop, but he was like a guard, and we ended up telling him that what happened, that Erica almost got ran over. I had to pull her away from the car, and he ended up calling the cops. He told us, "Hold on, let me call the cops," and a cop came, and we started talking to him.
Okay, but you don't, or do you remember the name of the officer that you spoke with?
I do not.
Okay. That's all the questions I have for this witness.
Okay, this is going to be a really strange cross of the witness. Of course, all of Brooks's crosses of the witnesses are strange, but he gets so off base here. He's like off to a whole nother area that doesn't even have anything to do with the trial. It's really bizarre. And what I find completely insane is that all of his focus is about what happened with Erica. Forget all the victims and that are watching and that are in the courtroom behind him at this very moment. They have no impact on him whatsoever. It's just in his head, he has the tunnel vision of only Erica and what happened there. And making himself seem, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just the strangest thing ever.
All right, Mr. Brooks, do you have any questions for this witness?
I sure do. So, my first question would be, you seem to be unclear about when you met Erica. Would you say it was roughly October or November because you wasn't sure which one?
Roughly in between.
Roughly in between.
Yeah. I know it was before Christmas.
Do you, well, you just said that you had never seen her quote unquote boyfriend or whoever she was referring to as that before the Christmas parade. Is that correct?
The Christmas parade was November, right?
He's asking you if you had seen
Not before, but the Christmas parade was November. I'm just asking, right? Okay, so no.
Did she? Do you want her to restate her answer? She answered. She confirmed your question.
I wanted to be direct.
Okay, no, I have not.
So you just testified that you can identify who was driving the said vehicle as soon as you saw the video played. If you've never seen the driver before that day, how would you even know who it was?
I'll object. That is not a clear question. This is just going to confuse the witness. It's confused me.
Also state it, Mr. Brooks, rephrase the question, please.
Would you play the video again, the first 10 seconds? I'm guessing that it was.
Be Exhibit 3.
Exhibit 3? You want the first 10 seconds of exhibit played?
Show the witness the first couple of seconds of the...
All right, it's up.
Now, you just testified.
Hold on, it's playing. You want it to stop now?
Stop.
Okay.
You
Play the
just...
first 13 seconds for the witness.
Thank you.
You just testified that as soon as you saw the vehicle come into the camera view, you said, "Oh, there's his car." How would you know whose car it was if you've never seen this person before that day?
Do you understand the question?
Yeah.
Go ahead and answer.
Because I was told that she was going to meet up with Daryl Brooks.
So you were told this directly from Erica.
Yes.
Did at any time she ever tell you what kind of car he had and what kind of car he would be meeting up with her with, quote unquote?
No.
So how can you identify that it was the said person's car if you had no knowledge of what vehicle this said person would be driving, or who the person even was, or what the person even looked like? How would you know?
Because I was told it was Daryl Brooks.
And so you were told that it was this name, but you were able to identify the vehicle and the person on the first day that you ever saw them.
Objection
Is that-
asked and answered.
Let him finish his question.
Again, as soon as the car came into camera view, you immediately said on the record just a few minutes ago, "Oh, there's his car." Who is his? Who were you referring to?
Daryl Brooks.
And you would be able to know that that was quote unquote Daryl Brooks just by seeing the car come into the view of the camera?
Now I'll object based on an asked and answered question.
Sustained. Mr. Brooks, are you trying to ask her whether at the moment in time she first saw the SUV, did she know who was driving? That would be a relevant question.
Did you know who was driving the SUV that you saw when you saw it?
Not in court, but when you first saw it on that date.
Yes, because I don't see why Erica would be talking to anybody else and getting yelled at by somebody else.
But did you know at that moment who was driving the car?
Yes.
And how would you know that? You just said that you had no knowledge of the vehicle that whoever Erica was meeting up with would be driving. So how would you know that?
Objection asked and answered and argumentative.
Yeah. Her answer previously, Mr. Brooks, was she's basing that on what someone told her, not based on what she saw at that point. That's at least how I took it.
So Erica told you the vehicle and how the vehicle would look?
Do you understand the question?
Say that again.
Mr. Brooks?
Erica, I'm
Restate
sorry,
the
Your Honor.
question. No, that's okay. Restate the question, sir.
So let's back up a little bit. Erica told you that she was meeting up with this Daryl Brooks, correct? That's what you said, right?
Correct.
And did she at any time tell you what vehicle this person would be driving and how the vehicle looked?
She did not.
So the first time you saw the vehicle, did you know who was driving the vehicle?
Yes, when she told me. When she told me.
What he's asking you, though, is did you know based on personal observation,
Oh,
not
no,
based
not
on what
personal
someone
observation. Oh, wait. So personal observation. Oh no, never mind. Okay, yeah.
told you? So let's just make sure the record's clear what your answer is.
It's based on what I was told when I met up with her.
So it was told.
That's been established. It's been established what was told. So next question.
No, I was going to a different question. I didn't get to it.
All right, well then ask it, please.
I'm trying to. So you were told after the vehicle drove away and you and Erica were alone? Is that when you were told?
Yes.
So it would be fair to say that before you were told this, after the vehicle drove away, you did not know who was driving the vehicle, correct? Would that be fair to say?
Oh, I had a suspicion it was Daryl.
You had a suspicion or did you know?
Had a suspicion. until I
So
asked
you
her.
didn't know.
Objection. Argumentative.
Yeah, so we've kind of been a little bit circular here, so the objection is sustained. I think we need to be clear, Mr. Brooks, when you ask your questions about what point in time. It's one thing to talk about when she first sees the vehicle because there's been no contact between her and the vehicle, but it's a different point in time when it's later. So you need to make clear at what point in time you're referring to so that your question is clear.
Got you. You identified the alleged defendant in court. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
And the alleged defendant that you identified was the same person that you saw driving the vehicle that day.
Yes.
The video also shows that, well, let me back up. Matter of fact, let me ask a different question. You made reference to hanging out with Erica in the park, correct?
Yes.
With maybe one other person
Yeah.
present?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hanging out, what were you guys actually doing?
Drinking?
So, would it be fair to say that because of alcohol being involved, that there may have been a misinterpretation of what you saw?
No.
What you thought you saw?
Objection calls for speculation.
The question, the way it's asked, calls for speculation. If you could please rephrase it.
Oh, I asked it different. How much were you drinking? Was it a few beers, a bottle?
Half
Something
a
to that
pint.
effect? Half a pint. Do you remember what you were drinking?
Vodka.
Do you remember if Erica was drinking?
She was.
And you said that you separated at one point to go hang with another person. I can't remember the name, but would that be fair to say that you separated from Erica to go hang out with another person?
I did say that.
Was that person also drinking that day?
No.
Did that person overhear any conversation between you and Erica?
No.
Would that be the same person that was saw in the video?
Yes.
So that would be Nick. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And is it true that you did give a statement about what you saw and heard that day? Would that be
Yes.
fair to say? Would it be fair to say that in this statement that you gave, you never mentioned the person that you saw driving make any threats? Would that be fair to say?
I never mentioned.
Well, I have the statement right here in front of me. Would it be fair to say that the statement that you gave that day, that you did not say in your statement that you heard any threats being made or yelled towards Erica? Would that be fair to say?
Possibly.
So do you remember giving a statement?
I remember giving a statement.
Do you remember what you said in your statement?
I do.
So I'm going to ask you again because I just asked. I have your statement in front of me. You did not mention any threats being yelled or made towards Erica. Would that be fair to say?
I did mention some.
What exactly did you mention?
That you were yelling at her, saying that you were gonna kill her and to get in the car.
And that's in your statement.
Yes.
Would you like me to read your statement to you?
Yes.
You sure?
Yeah, sure.
So I'll object based on the procedure that the defendant is employing at this point.
Sure. Mr. Brooks, there is a procedure. I can have the state bring up her statement, I hope electronically, to show her. It would, and then,
Fine, Your Honor.
all right.
Bring it up for her to see.
You'll want to direct her to what part. You can ask her to review it, ask her if that refreshes her recollection, and then you can ask her a question. Or even show her that and ask a direct question about it would be another way.
Okay, this is not it right
No, they'll get it up. It just takes a moment.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, you guys, I have the audio of Corey's interview with the police after the parade, not when they came by and checked on him that day, but it was actually taken afterwards. If you want to listen to that after this is over with, I'll put the link up here, right up here in the right-hand corner for you.
We have a lot of new technology in this courtroom, and it's great when it works. But it's a lot to get used to.
Excuse me, Your Honor, if I may ask you, are we still on the record right now? Or we are? Okay.
We are. We're just taking a stretch break, but we're still on the record why they.
Okay. I was gonna say something to the bailiff, and I didn't want to be disrespectful by.
Do you want me to mute you for a second so you can?
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. When will I be allowed to come back into the court so I can see everything?
You have earned your right to come back, sir. I mean, I can bring you back if you want to finish your questioning here.
I do.
All right, we'll take a short break for you to do that. All right, I'll have to excuse the jury for a moment. Or Attorney Wichow, if there was something you wanted to address.
Thank you. I think there may have been some misunderstanding on the nature of this statement in question. This witness provided a statement to a police detective who then wrote a police report summarizing the statement. So the proper method at this point for the defendant would be to confront her by orally quoting from that, asking if she said or didn't say these things. To show her this statement we're not refreshing her recollection. She didn't write this.
I see. So I didn't know that, but that certainly makes a lot of sense. Mr. Brooks, did you hear what Attorney Wichow just said about the procedure?
Is it a way to verify that is in fact procedure? Just to be clear for the record. Can we verify it?
I had referenced earlier that I thought you were trying, we might be showing her the statement to help refresh her recollection, but I don't have any of the statements in front of me, and I wasn't aware that it's the police report that may be referenced as written by someone other than this witness. She wrote a statement apparently, but the police report is a summary of her statement. So
how it that kind of makes it problematic though. You could probably see what I'm getting at, Your Honor, by if it's a summary of what she said.
Do you have the statement do you have a written statement of hers?
Yes, I'm trying to get back to it. You know, I got a lot of stuff coming over here.
I know.
Once he finds the statement, I suggest that Mr. Brooks read directly from the statement the portions that he's asking the witness about and ask her if she did or didn't say those things he's reading.
Does the state have it available to put on the monitor if he's having difficulty finding his copy?
Sure.
Let's do that, please.
What was that? The last part, I'm sorry.
It'll be on the monitor in front of you. Oh, we can, yeah, there you go. If you can't find, this is
Bottom of page 2. Oh, there, right there. In summary.
Why don't you read that to yourself and see if that helps you formulate a question?
That's all I need.
Okay. Do you want any part of this shown to the witness?
Yeah. I want to go to that top part that I read first.
Oh, actually, I think we were talking about he doesn't need to refresh. I don't think it's been established he would need to refresh her recollection yet. She's testified from her memory. So you can use what's in this statement, sir, to formulate questions on cross-examination. And you can use leading questions. So at this point, I don't need to show it to her, but you can ask questions. We'll bring the jury back out and you can continue.
Would this be left up for me to see though? Wow.
We can leave it up.
We can leave it up.
Okay.
Is the part that's up sufficient, or do you need to scroll up? Does the state need to scroll up a little bit for you?
I would only need this part that's on my screen now.
Okay.
And then you whoever's strolling, stroll down a little bit past that to the second part. Up.
How about that? You should be able to see both parts now. Starts with in summary near the top.
Yeah.
And then that's page 2 of 5, and then down below, presumably it says 3 of 5, but I'd like to bring the jury out, so let me know when you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, let's have the jury brought back in. Mr. Brooks, you're doing a good job at coming up with questions and following the process, and I appreciate you asking to come back over here. All right, thank you, everyone. Please be seated. All right. Mr. Brooks, when you're ready, please continue with your cross-exam.
Okay. I'm gonna give everybody time to settle back in for a few seconds.
Okay.
So, Miss, is it Runkle?
It is.
You stated earlier that when you were hanging out with Erica at the park that you were drinking, right?
I did.
And you also stated that you guys separated and you went to go hang out with someone else.
With Nick, yes.
With Nick. You did state that Nick wasn't drinking, right?
Yes.
So I want to ask, earlier when I asked, I think you were asked by Attorney Whitchild if you heard any yelling or anything being yelled at Erica, or I'll forget how you phrased the question, but did you hear any yelling or anything directed towards you guys? And do you remember what you said?
I heard that you were yelling at Erica, telling her to get in the car, and that you were gonna kill her. That was you were gonna kill her was after the fact that you headed out, but that's probably not what you're asking. The fact of you were yelling at her, telling her to get in the car, was the time when you were around. Brooks was around.
Brooks or you? You said you, and then you said Brooks. But you did state that you had never seen Brooks before November 21st of 2021. Would that be fair to say?
Right.
And you also did say that you had only heard of him through Erica, correct?
Right.
At any time did you ever observe any phone conversations or interactions between Erica and Brooks?
Am I allowed to answer that?
He's just asking you whether you have, not the content of any of those.
I have.
Would it be fair to say that you knew a lot of details about their relationship? Would that be fair to say?
I did.
What specifically did you know before November 21st, 2021?
Mr. Brooks?
Okay, I need to add a little bit of background here. Earlier in November, not long before the parade, Brooks had been arrested for running his on-again, off-again girlfriend, Erica Patterson, down with that same vehicle in a gas station. He was arrested for it, and since he hasn't been to trial for it yet and convicted of it yet, the judge ruled that the incident could not be brought up in this trial, in this particular trial. So the witness seems very aware of it, but Brooks, as usual, is clueless. This is why the judge warns him here that if he brings it up, he's going to open the door to the prosecution asking questions about it. He does this quite often throughout the trial. Sometimes he opens doors, sometimes he opens the doors and the windows.
Sure you want to ask that question? Think about some of the pretrial rulings I've made.
Let me rephrase that.
Okay, good idea.
I'm sorry, I'm new. So, in your statement that I'm looking at right here on the screen, it says, it is Runkle, right?
Yes.
I don't want to mispronounce your name. It says, Runkle further stated that she heard Brooks telling Erica he was going to smash her face in and that he was going to kill her.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Is that what you heard?
Yes.
So you didn't hear what you just testified to hearing?
No.
Or did you hear what I just read to you?
I heard that after you were leaving.
After?
Not that, what you just read. I heard that after you were leaving.
You do know that this is your statement that I'm reading from, right?
I do.
We've established that, and this is argumentative.
Sustained. Rephrase.
I'm trying to figure out which one did you hear?
Objection. Vague.
Did you hear the I'm going to smash your face in, or did you hear what you previously said?
Well, I heard when you were sitting there arguing with her, I heard that.
Who is the you you're referring to?
Oh, I'm sorry. Brooks said that when he was arguing with Erica.
And you claim that it says right here, but through knowing Patterson, she did know that Brooks was Erica Patterson's boyfriend. Did she ever tell you that Brooks was her boyfriend?
She said she said Brooks was her ex.
I'm a little confused by the statement and then the testimony right now.
Objection. That's not a question.
Sustained. Mr. Brooks, you need to formulate a question for the witness.
Did you ever hear, now this is coming from your statement, Runkle stated that after a short dispute between her, Kirby, I guess that would be referring to Nick.
Yes.
After a short dispute between her, Kirby, and Brooks, she saw Brooks get back into the red SUV and heard him saying something to the effect of, I don't swear, so F you, effing bees, you're dead. Did you at any time hear anything like that?
Yes.
So when you just testified, why did that part of your statement never come up? Why did you never say that?
Because it probably wasn't brought up. at that time, but it's in my memory.
So, what all exactly did you hear?
I heard what you were saying.
You heard you say at this time? Like, the question's not clear to me. Like, what time frame? Who are we talking about?
When, because in the video it's clear that
Hold on, go back to your question. I didn't mean for you to not ask it. I just want to make sure I understand specifically who you're asking this witness about statements that were made.
I'm asking about who she said was the individual driving the vehicle.
Well, it's different than what you just asked. So if you want to change and go to that, that's fine.
You just clarified it a little bit. So, what exactly did you hear coming from the individual who was driving the vehicle?
I'm sorry, can we just clarify at what point we're talking about?
Exactly.
At the point that I guess I would refer back to the video at that point that we saw on the video.
So what point of the video? There's lots of points. It was many minutes long.
Roughly, I'm not sure, I think it was
Can you describe what part of the video you want?
the part of the video when that she testified to, where she said she had the green gloves, and
So
she was
in the beginning of the video?
no, it was like towards the middle. She was standing in the street, and she said she had the green gloves because I think somebody asked her which one was she,
Right.
and she
I
said
remember
the
that.
one with the green gloves.
I remember that.
At that point, did you observe anything being said out of said vehicle? Did you hear anything being yelled or screamed or anything like that at that point?
Well, before I showed up, I heard yelling.
You heard yelling before you showed up.
Yeah, because like before I showed up into the video.
So how far were you down the street that you were able to hear what was being said?
Objection.
Not
Calls for effect, not in evidence. She didn't say what she heard. What she said. She didn't say she could understand what was said.
She can answer the question. I'm going to overrule it. I understand what the state is saying, but I think he's trying to establish where she was at that point in time. So go ahead and answer.
no, okay. I was right where you pulled up the second time.
Are you sure you know what I was asking?
It was not entirely clear to maybe all of us, but I was trying to give you some leeway. So
I knew you understood where I was going with that. Were you at a, let me say it like this, were you at a distance before you came into that video? Like approximately how far away were you from the vehicle and from Erica before you heard anything being yelled or screamed, as you said?
I was at a distance.
So would it be fair to say that it would be hard to hear the conversation that was being had?
Not really. Brooks was yelling pretty loud.
So you were able to hear the gist of the conversation from the distance that you were at?
Yes.
Even with a parade going on and a street full of people, you were able to hear from a distance, which you just said you were at a distance, you were able to hear the gist of the conversation.
The parade was nowhere close.
answer the question. Were you able to hear?
Oh, yes, sorry.
You were able to hear, even testifying that you were drinking vodka.
Yes.
What else did you hear?
At what point and by whom?
At the same point, what did you hear from Erica at that point?
I don't remember.
But you remember hearing something from the driver of the vehicle who was inside of the car.
Yep.
But you don't remember what you heard from Erica, who was outside of the car and would be more easier to hear.
Okay, thank you for being specific at that. I remember
welcome.
Erica sitting there telling me that she wanted to go.
So she was telling you that from you being at a distance.
No, she was right next to me. That was when she was walking towards. She said, "Come on, let's go."
At what point was that? Because you just testified that you were at a distance.
Objection, argumentative. I'm also going to object to the manner in which this defendant is asking this witness these questions. He's intentionally misleading her. He's trying to confuse her.
Mr. Brooks, the purpose of cross-examination is to ask questions that are relevant, test her credibility, other things like that. It gets to be a little confusing, at times maybe a little argumentative. I don't have all the reports in front of me, so I can't say whether it's misleading or not. But ask a direct question. You're able to ask leading questions so that she can answer directly. Be as specific as you can, time, place, circumstances. It's helpful for all.
I mean, the video is very clear that
But you can't testify right now, right? You can't make an argument about the video. So your opinion about it right now, that's not appropriate.
I want to.
Keep going.
For the record, the objection
Was sustained.
You made a reference to being a reference to chesting up with the driver of the vehicle. What was said at that point between you and who you were chesting up with?
Well, I'm not going to go back to that, but I was sitting there saying that you shouldn't be hitting a woman. No, Brooks should not be hitting a woman. And Brooks was saying that Erica Patterson is not a woman.
Are you sure that's what you heard? At that moment when you were chesting up, in your words?
Yes?
You're sure that's what you heard?
Yes.
What then happened from that point?
Then we started brawling it out. Oh, me and Brooks started brawling it out.
What do you mean by brawling it out?
Threw a couple punches. I threw a punch. Brooks smacked me.
So did you put that in the report that you made, or the summary of the report that you gave to, I think it was Attorney Wichow said, a detective?
Objection, there's no evidence. This witness prepared a report or a summary.
sustained.
Did you report that in your report?
It's something that's in my memory, but I hope I did.
Would it be fair to say that if you had just brawled with someone and talked to a detective that you would report it? Would that be fair to say?
Can you say that again?
Would it be fair to say that if you had just had a brawl with someone and you talked to police directly after the brawl that you would report it? Would that be fair to say?
Okay. I know you're asking a question, but
Hold on. You need to ask. You do need to ask.
okay.
You do need to answer his question. It called for a yes or no answer.
Okay, it's not in the report. I specifically said.
Hold on. That's not a question, though. Okay,
sorry.
so that's okay. Ask your next question.
Would it be fair to say by the video footage that there was no brawl or punches thrown by either party? Would that be fair to say?
There was.
Can we show the witness the video again?
Are you asking her whether the video shows a brawl?
Would it be fair to say that the video shows a brawl in which you just said that punches were thrown? That'd be fair to say.
Okay, so what's a brawl to you?
You can't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know.
Okay,
I think
well,
hold on, Mr. Brooks, are you trying to ask whether are you going to confirm with her that she saw the video, and then on that video, you cannot see a brawl between her and Mr. Brooks? Is that what you're trying to get at?
A version of that, yes, but I was
You got
gonna,
to ask the questions
I
though
was
to
gonna
get
say,
to that.
can the video be shown to her again?
Ask your questions, sir.
In the video that you saw, would it be fair to say that a brawl was not depicted on that video? Would that be fair to say?
I don't know big words. What's depicted?
Can you see it in the video? Is that what
Yes.
That's what I mean.
Yes, I could see it.
you mean? You could see the brawl?
Yeah, I say it's a brawl. It's just a couple, it's just like a push, looks like a push, but it was a smack. And I got up and, yeah.
You got up, so you were,
I got up and swung.
you were knocked to the ground?
No,
So where did you get up from?
from being pushed and smacked.
So you fell to the ground.
I didn't fall to the ground.
Answered.
Sustained. Next question, sir.
So would it be fair to say that in the video it shows you being knocked to the ground?
I was not knocked to the ground. I staggered back.
Would it be? In the video it shows. I got kind of thrown off for a second.
You and me both.
I,
People need to make sure their phones and other electronics are not audible.
would it be fair to say that the video does not show you being knocked to the ground at any point? Would that be a fair assessment?
So I'll object to relevance because the witness never testified that she was knocked to the ground. So this is not a question aimed at her credibility.
She just said she got knocked to the ground.
She did not.
Gee.
She said she got up. I'm sorry. She said she got up, which would constitute being, if you're not knocked to the ground or down,
War
you can't
words
get up.
here, Mr. Brooks.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, she was clear. I think she clarified what it meant by getting up, and it might mean something different to you than it does to her. But we need to keep going.
So can I ask what is getting up? What does getting up mean to you?
Stagger back.
So it would be fair to ask you then, does the video show you staggering back?
It does.
Does it show you being, as you called it, smacked?
It does.
Can we show her the video again?
Go ahead. Play the video. You want it to the jury or to her?
To her.
I would ask that we publish it.
I think it's an exhibit, sir, and let's publish it. Okay.
Your Honor, would it be too much to ask if we went straight to that part of the video?
I don't know what part it is. I don't have the timestamp.
I'm guessing this might be it right here.
It's coming up.
Let's just watch, and then we'll ask questions. You'll ask questions when we're done watching.
So we're playing from 3 minutes and 9 seconds on Exhibit 3.
You can stop. That's
All right, what's the time for the stopping of the video, please?
3 minutes and 47 seconds.
All right, your question for her then, based on that?
My question would be, you just viewed the video again. That'd be fair to say.
I did.
At any time in that video, were you in fact smacked and staggered back?
Can I tell the exact time?
If you know, yes, go ahead.
At 3:23.
Can we see 323?
Go ahead. We'll start it a little bit before, so make sure to capture it. You should be able to see the time.
24.
Okay.
So we went from about 319 to 327.
Thank you. Your question regarding the video, sir?
My question again would be the same question. You just saw it again. In the portion of the video you just saw, would it be fair to say, on your part, your interpretation, that you were in fact smacked and staggered back?
Yes.
Next question.
Are you sure you weren't over-exaggerating that?
No.
It looked like a push.
Objection argumentative.
Sustained.
Would you say again what happened directly after that?
Directly after the smack,
Directly after what you say is a smack?
staggered back.
No, directly after that whole incident.
I call it get up, but I came back and swung.
Would it be fair to say that the video doesn't show any of that you just said? Would that be fair?
It shows it somewhere.
So would it be fair that you're saying your interpretation of what you just saw would constitute a brawl, as you say, or brawling it out, as you say?
Hold on, Mr. Brooks. I've given you a lot of leeway on this topic. What's the relevance of all of this at this point? I think you made your point about what happened and what didn't, and what's in the video and what's not, and the jury can ultimately decide that. You can argue it later on to the
I'm
jury.
sorry, I thought the state
Where are we going?
was supposed to object to that. If they saw an objection, I'm a little confused about that.
I need the questioning to kind of circle back to what's relevant for the trial.
Well, I thought it was relevant because of what the video is actually depicting.
And that video is going to speak for itself. It's been an exhibit.
Yes, it does.
And so you've asked a lot of questions about it. So let's move on. Under 906.11, that's my authority. I'm telling you to move forward. Next line of
Did you
questioning.
hear anything after the, as you say, brawling out? Did you hear anything coming from the vehicle? Was anything said to you directly coming from the vehicle at that point?
Do you understand the question?
Would it be after you leave? Oh wait, Brooks leaves? Or when
I was
Brooks gets
clearing
in?
what I just asked after the brawling it out.
But you asked directed at her, and then you said anything from the vehicle. So that's a compound question. So you need to be specific.
Did you hear anything after the brawling it out, as you say? Did you hear anything directed towards you?
Directed towards me? No.
Did you hear anything directed towards Nick?
I remember something being said.
Do you recall what was said?
I do not.
Did you hear anything directed towards Erica?
Yes.
What did you hear directed towards Erica?
At what time?
Right after the brawling it out, as you say. Did you hear anything directed specifically towards Erica?
Not till he left. No, not till Brooks left.
Would you say that again?
Not till Brooks left.
So, did you or did you not hear anything directed towards Erica after the brawling it out, as you say?
Okay, no.
So, can we pull that statement up again?
Go ahead. The state would do that once again. Just to the preview.
I'm reading directly from the statement where it says,
Mr. Brooks, it may or may not be a statement, so you need to be accurate. I know you're referring to
the
a police report.
The summary of the statement. I'm reading directly from the summary of the statement where it says, Runkle stated that after a short dispute between her, Kirby, and Brooks, she saw Brooks get back into the red SUV and heard him saying something to the effect of F you effing bees, you're dead, as he was leaving.
So I'll object on two grounds. One, asked and answered, and two, this could confuse the witness because it's not. She used the F and the B.
Sustained.
It was something on the back end of that I didn't get to.
I'm not sure what you mean by that, sir, but you've already asked that question before, so the objection is sustained.
I actually don't recall asking a question directly to that part of the summary.
I do. You read through that previously.
Do you remember what the question was so that I don't re-ask the same question?
Mr. Brooks, move on.
Did you ever hear something to the effect of F you effing bees, you're dead?
I did.
At what point did you hear that?
While Brooks was leaving.
So that would it be fair to say that you heard that after the brawling
Yes.
it out?
You shook your head. Can you say
Yes.
Thank you.
That's a little confusing. So,
Mr. Brooks, that's not a question. You're attempting to
I'm
testify.
about to ask a question.
You
If I
can't
can
do
get
that.
to it,
Ask your question. But you also can't mischaracterize the testimony or the evidence up to this point.
what do you mean?
In your questions, you can't mischaracterize prior testimony or evidence. You have to be accurate. So,
I'm trying to be, but it's
what's your next question, sir?
kind of hard. Just a quick second.
Right, unless you have a different topic.
It is.
Anything related to this, what's in the summary, the questions regarding what she heard or didn't hear around this time, we've gone through that. You've gone through it. Under 906.11, you need to move on and ask a new line of questions.
I was trying to, if I can get to it.
Go ahead.
This part of the summary that I'm looking at now says Runkle stated that she did see pictures of Brooks following the Christmas parade incident via social media, and Runkle confirmed that was Brooks was I don't know, it looks kind of, I don't know if that's a mark on my screen going through. Okay, I couldn't read it.
I'll object. I don't think there's a question there.
Right.
I didn't get to it yet.
Well, then I'll object to the ongoing commentary with lack of any questioning.
And I'll sustain that objection.
Oh, I do have a question. You said that you had known Erica roughly since you were rooming up at the women's shelter. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Do you have any idea why she would refer to you as Corey Gray?
Because I go by that.
So how close would you say you guys were?
Close.
Close, like hung out all the time, every day?
Yes. Hung out every day. Sorry.
And do you know of any time before November the 21st of 2021? Do you know of any time before that Erica mentioned to you anything about the relationship that she had with Brooks outside of what you learned that day?
Can you say that again?
At any time before November 21st of 2021, did Erica ever confide any information to you before that day?
She did.
What was the nature of the information?
It's not allowed to be brought up.
I think she's referring to a pretrial ruling that she's aware of.
Yep.
So, you want to rethink asking that question, sir? Otherwise, I'm going to allow her to answer it.
What pretrial?
I'm not going to state.
No,
that
I'm not.
right now.
Are we both privy to the same pretrial procedure?
There was a pretrial ruling about.
Do you want her to answer that question, or do you want to move on?
I want to move on.
All right, I'll strike that question from the record. The jury will disregard the question that was asked.
So I would want to ask, was there any, during the brawling out point, was there any interaction between the driver of the vehicle and Nick?
There was.
Do you remember what the nature of that interaction or exchange was between those two?
I don't know. I just remember jumping in front.
Do you recall any threats being made towards Nick or from Nick towards the driver of the vehicle?
Oh, I do.
Relevance.
Overruled. She may answer.
I do.
Do you remember what was said specifically?
Not specifically, but I remember Brooks getting mad because Nick was coming to Erica's rescue. Right along with Corey. Me.
Do you recall any knife being involved in any of that situation
No
during
knife.
that exchange whatsoever?
No knife.
Were you aware that was why police was responding to that incident?
I did not.
Did you at any time have a knife during that incident?
I did not.
Do you know if Nick had a knife during that incident?
He did not.
Do you know if Erica had a knife Do you know if Erica had a knife during that incident?
She did not.
As far as your memory, do you recall reporting that a knife was involved in that incident?
I do not.
Do you recall if Nick reported a knife being involved in that incident?
It's possible.
Do you recall Erica reporting that a knife was involved in that incident?
I do not.
You testified to drinking a half pint of vodka that day. Was that the only thing you had to drink that day?
Yes.
Would it be fair to say that you were tipsy?
Yes.
Would it be fair to say that you may even have been intoxicated?
No.
For any reason that day, acknowledging that you were drinking, would that have impaired your thinking of the situation in any way?
No.
So would it be fair to say that you were of clear and sober mind during that whole incident after drinking a half pint of vodka?
Yes.
So there, to the best of your memory, there wouldn't be any reason why you may have left something out or maybe not been clear about anything that happened during that specific incident.
Possibly left some things out.
Do you remember what they might have been?
No.
Do you know the plaintiff?
Objection for previous reasons.
Sustained.
Have you ever seen the plaintiff?
Objection.
Sustained.
Have you ever had any interaction with the plaintiff?
Objection.
Sustained.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any redirect?
Very, very briefly, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Ms. Runkle, you met with Detective David Van Els to provide a statement on November 22nd of 2021. Do you remember that?
Yes.
That's accurate?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember telling Detective Van Els, when he was asking you about this incident, that when you arrived, you heard Daryl Brooks telling Erica Patterson that he was going to, quote, smash her face in and that he was going to kill her, end quote?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember telling Detective Van Els that as you saw Brooks get back into the red SUV, you heard him say something to the effect of, quote, fuck you, fucking bitches, you're dead, end quote?
I do.
Okay. During your cross-examination, you repeatedly referred to a person as Brooks. The person depicted in the video, Exhibit 3, the person that you chested up to, is that person in the courtroom?
He is.
Can you point him out for us and just very clearly tell us where he's sitting, what he's wearing?
You want me to point?
Yes, please.
All right, he's right there and he's wearing orange.
I'd ask the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
It will.
And I have no further questions. Thank you.
Boom.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this will be an excellent stopping point for us this evening. Thank you for your patience this evening. I do need to go through one instruction with you. Mr. Brooks, I want to commend you for a couple of things. Number one, asking to come back into the courtroom. I really appreciate that. I appreciate you being here. I think it runs much smoother when you are here. assuming you follow all the rules, which you have done a very good job at this afternoon. I also want to commend you on cooperating with the process even before you were brought over here. You were respectful, but you also made appropriate objections. You asked questions on cross-examination. Despite not wanting to unmask at first, you did do that, and I appreciate that. You asked some cogent, relevant questions, some of which went directly to the credibility of the witness. I would add, you might not always artfully ask the questions, but I think you're making some solid points. I would encourage you to keep prepping, to have questions written out based on the materials that you have. I really appreciate that you came back over and that you've been following the rules. I also want to encourage you, sir, to, if you choose, to wear your suit or other street clothes. It is your choice. I will let you make that choice. But I encourage you to consider that. I don't think there's anything we need to address other than perhaps timing. We went a little bit late here tonight, so I think I'm going to have the jurors report. I tell them we're going to bring them into the courtroom at 9. That usually means a little bit earlier with their protocol. We'll still start at 8:30 to address any housekeeping items at that point in time. Is there anything the state wants to address right now or any record you want to make?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Brooks, anything you want to address right now or any record you want to make?
No, just thank you for giving me a chance to come back in, and I appreciate what you said.
It works well when you're here, sir. I hope we continue this.
Something very, very quick. I was waiting for my COVID results to come back before I feel comfortable getting back dressed up. So I kind of just prefer to just stay in the orange right now.
All right, that's your choice.
They said I should be having the results. Hopefully by the time I get back, I might know some. If not, I'll know some tomorrow morning. So that would be a big influence on.
Okay, fair enough. The other thing is I had not been utilizing an all rise. Sometimes you stand, sometimes you don't. It is something I'd like to go back to, especially as it relates to the jurors. It's out of respect for them. So I will be doing an all rise for when the jurors enter and exit. And just given some of our logistics, I'm not looking for an all rise for when I enter at all. So my bailiffs are aware of that. But that's it for today. Good night, everyone. We'll see everyone at 8:30 tomorrow morning.
You know, where some may feel belittled by the way she was just addressing him, Brooks seems to thrive on it. Like he enjoys the encouragement. And I'm not a psychiatrist, but it just, you kind of makes you wonder about if he's ever received much encouragement in his past. I don't know. Kind of makes you wonder. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this video. Our next video, which will drop in the next week, is going to start with Brooks's on-again, off-again ex-girlfriend, Erica Patterson, being brought onto the stand as a witness for the state. And it does get heated. And it does get strange. And it does get wild. So, in the meantime, y'all stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please do not forget to like and subscribe on your way out. And feel free to leave a comment. Have a blessed day.